Danfo offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again on this rainy day here in Atlanta, Georgia. A happy happy Juneteenth Eve. Again, happy Juneteenth Eve, y'all. Let's hit that like button. Let's share. Let's subscribe. If you're new, welcome to the family. Let's hit that super chat button as well. Again, let's hit that super chat button as well. All that good stuff. You guys know what to do. A lot of you guys have been here for years. Shout out to Monifa. If Monifa is in the chat, our moderator, who's been with us since like 2017, maybe 2016. Shout out to Monifa. If Monifa is around, go ahead and say hello. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlight 5851. Shout out to you, my brother. What's up, everybody? Hey, Didi. Shout out to Didi Midday Dimples. Once again, Didi, thank you for the vinyl. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' gifts. I really do. So hit that like button, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. Got a couple of oh, listen, I'm on the wrong mic, y'all. Hold on. I'm talking on the wrong mic. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. I'm on my main mic. The other mic was unplugged, and I'm just talking away, thinking I'm on my main mic, but I'm not. But again, your guys' gifts does not go unnoticed. I appreciate all of y'all. And again, just thank you for being part of Search for Uhuru. What we got going on? We're rolling to Nigeria in August. Again, we're rolling to Nigeria in August. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, that's danfo.africa to learn more. Again, please visit danfo.africa to learn more. Would love to host you all on one of our mini excursions. Again, we'll love to host you all on one of our mini excursions. So please visit Danfo, that's danfo.africa to learn more. The Red Roast East 723. Thank you. And guys, I'm releasing a new book here shortly. Shout out to Fitzgerald Stevens. Fitzgerald has been on me for the past couple of years saying, Dynas, when the next book dropping? You know, he's been on me for a minute now saying Dynas, when the next book dropping. Speaking of books, I need everybody who's watching this. Hold on. Everyone who's watching this, I need you. Let me share the screen. Wrong button. If you are watching this right now, I need you to go to Amazon. I need you to type in Dynasty Mir. So go to Amazon, type in Dynasty Mir, bam. And you gotta buy a book. Go ahead and buy a book. All right. Go ahead and buy a book. Okay. If you have not bought one of my books, I need you to go ahead, type in Dynasty Mir on Amazon and buy one of my children's books. Buy a book. How's that sound? Appreciate y'all. All right. Also, we're rolling to Nigeria in August. Nigeria in August, Zanzibar in September, also Kenya in September as well. Then we're going to Zanzibar in September. I'm sorry. Nigeria, August, Zanzibar in September, Kenya in September as well. Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, as well as Sierra Leone in November. And then we're going to Benin in January. If you're interested in joining, please visit danfo, that's danfo, .africa. Again, please visit danfo, that's danfo .africa to learn more. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. There's been a lot has been said in regards to what's going on in South Africa with the xenophobia. So there's been, and guys, this is my favorite hotel / restaurant in all of Africa called the Bushman. This is in Abidjan. All right. So when we go to Accra, when we go to Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Abidjan, that's part of the Ghana and Ivory Coast experience. So the first half of the trip is going to be in Ghana. The second half is going to be in Ivory Coast. So when we go to Ivory Coast, we are hitting up the Bushman. Okay, this is by far my favorite hotel, my favorite restaurant in all of Africa. I love this place. So this is where we're going. All right, when we go to Africa, when we go to Ivory Coast. All right, so yeah, come and join us. But there's been a lot of focus on the xenophobia going on in South Africa. That's where all the attention is. So with that being said, what's going on in South Sudan, or sorry, well, you can include South Sudan, but what's going on in Sudan, what's going on in northern Nigeria, what's going on in northern Nigeria primarily, is being completely ignored. Hell, you could say what's going on in the Eastern Congo is being ignored. And the focus and the outrage, for some reason, has been predominantly South Africans in South Africa and the xenophobia. But what's being ignored is what's going on in South. In fact, nobody really talks about what's going on in South Sudan with the Arab-backed war. The UAE, who's actually backing, the Arabs in Sudan. Like no one's talking about it, which is interesting. which is very, very interesting. And why is that, I wonder? I wonder why that is. Why someone has it's like somebody just has the majority of the focus on South Africa. I'm gonna play a news clip real quick on what's actually going on in Sudan, so you guys can have an idea for people who don't know. And this is coming from the BBC.
Easy to manipulate. I've spent the past 20 years in all kinds of conflict.
A UN fact-finding mission in Sudan has determined that atrocities carried out against non-Arab civilians by the Rapid Support Forces point to genocide. The paramilitary group captured the city of El Fasher in Darfur in late October after an 18-month blockade. The UN mission said the RSF's targeting of members of non-Arab African tribes was brutal and included deliberate efforts to destroy them through mass killings, sexual violence and starvation. I want to speak to Africa correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher. And Barbara, some stark findings in the report. Tell us more about the details that are in there.
Yes, well, the report found that the atrocities committed in Al Fasher were not random excesses of war, but they were carried out with a widespread and systematic pattern that was committed according to a plan or policy with knowledge and intent. So they said that the evidence pointed to several hallmarks of genocide, which effectively amounted to deliberate efforts to destroy a targeted population, an ethnic group, by these methods of sexual violence, mass killing, starvation, and so on. And it said that intent is a very important part of the definition of the crime of genocide, and that they had inferred from the actions and how systematic they were, and from the evidence they were able to put together, that that was the intent. They mentioned that the targeted ethnic groups in particular were the Zaghawa and the Fur tribes. Now, these are indigenous African tribes in Darfur, especially in the El Fasher area, and the armed groups that were resisting the RSF attack on El Fasher were largely from the Zaghawa tribe. And so it seems the evidence is pretty clear, actually, that the RSF did not distinguish between the civilians and the armed members of that tribe that they had been fighting. And the conflict is actually, the ethnic part of it is rooted in previous conflicts that have taken place in Darfur between the largely Arab militias that form the backbone of the RSF and the non-Arab constituencies.
And Barbara, is there any prospect as a result of this report of any further action from the international community or further help? Tell us where it goes next.
Yeah, it's a good question, because we've had all these atrocities reported for some time and there hasn't been any action on the ground really that we have seen. This is going to be presented to the UN in Geneva, the UN Human Rights Council, up for debate. Also, the British Foreign Secretary is addressing the UN Security Council today. She will mention this and really push for accountability. That was part of the mandate of this UN investigative mission. Name the perpetrators as much as you can so they can be held accountable. There are a few names in the report, not many, it has to be said, including the name of the RSF leader, saying that he and others celebrated the fall of El Fasher as an achievement, and called the fighters heroic, that he had actually admitted that some violations took place, that there were investigations undergoing, but had not responded to any questions from the group, from the investigators, as to where things were at with that. The RSF has always denied any allegations of genocide, although it hasn't responded specifically to this one. So some of the things that the investigators propose are sanctions. Now, both sides have been sanctioned, individuals have been sanctioned already, so it's not clear how much difference that would make. They mentioned the fact that there is a flow of weapons coming from outside supporters. Don't go into a great deal of detail about that, but that's a huge factor in the continuing war, and one of the ways that mediators are trying to get to bring a stop to, or at least a truce to it. So all of these things are out there. They're being discussed. There hasn't been any progress so far, and this is one way of trying to push those buttons and push people to make these decisions.
And Barbara, in terms of the humanitarian situation, it has been pretty grim for a long time there. Tell us the latest on that.
Yeah, so the humanitarian situation in Al Fashir is quite difficult to determine because there's not a lot of information coming from there. A UN team has been inside. From what we understand, there are not that many people there now. So many people fled. There are a number, the number is unclear, hundreds, I think, of people who are detained there by the RSF. Again, information not entirely clear. But there is some work underway to try to get humanitarian aid into the city and especially into the villages around it where many of the people fled. In terms of the overall humanitarian picture, it really depends where you live as to whether you can eat. That's a quote from the International Food Monitors, because the areas where there is active conflict, so that would be in the south central part of the country, and also the areas where the RSF has taken control, which is mostly in the western part of the country, the humanitarian situation is dire and famine is spreading in some parts. In the areas where the army has expelled the RSF and is beginning to move back, things are improving somewhat. And there are various reasons for this, including humanitarian workers say bureaucratic obstacles from both sides in terms of getting the food into the conflict areas. Also the security situation. Also the economy has been decimated, the local economy, and it hasn't, especially in the RSF-held controlled areas, hasn't been built up again in any significant way. So there are continued warnings that people are still dying from starvation.
Barbara Pletasher, thank you very much indeed for bringing us the latest there. Thank you. I want to speak to Matilda Wu, who's an advocacy manager for the Norwegian Refugee Council in Sudan. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. I wonder if you can just give us a sense of your reaction to the report that we've had.
I mean, this report really confirms what this war has been, right? A war of systematic attacks against civilians. It is really new lows in history that we've reached with what happened in Al Fashir. And I'm really afraid that, these were markings on the walls, like the humanitarian organization, the human rights organization. Every single person in Darfur had warned the international community that such level of atrocity could be committed in 2025. And sadly, it unfolded in front of everyone, on everyone's phone, and without, the action from the international community to stop it. So what the report shows is level of atrocities that I've seen in North Darfur. I was there right after the fall of Al Fashir.
And I want to play this clip. If you guys hear the rain in the background, I apologize. My window's open because I like fresh air, and it's raining right now in Atlanta. It's actually pouring, and I like to, hear the rain and get some of that fresh air into my house. So I apologize if you hear the rain in the background, but I want to play a video on how the UAE is actually funding this, the RSF.
Are you ready to connect to a perfect journey with Turkish Airlines? To reach new heights of happiness?
Sudan is in the midst of a brutal civil war. It's the world's largest humanitarian crisis. Over 30 million people are in need of aid. More than 150,000 people have died. On one side is the National Army, the Sudanese Armed Forces. On the other, a paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces. Both are accused of war crimes. The RSF recently seized the city of El Fasher. BBC Verify uncovered evidence of it committing atrocities there. And the story of this war goes beyond Sudan's borders. The UN says external support is enabling the conflict. It didn't name specific countries, but one keeps coming up: the United Arab Emirates. Under Joe Biden, the US sanctioned companies it said had links to the RSF. Some were in the UAE. The UAE is being called the most influential external actor in Sudan and the RSF's main backer. The United Arab Emirates and the RSF deny this, but there are multiple allegations, including the supply of weapons and equipment. One US lawmaker has said, "We now know that the UAE has continued arming the RSF." Amnesty International alleges the UAE almost certainly sent Chinese-made weapons, saying it's identified them in images showing the aftermath of attacks by the RSF. The UAE has rejected those allegations. It says these weapons are manufactured outside the UAE and have been on the market for nearly a decade, and that it was untenable that only one country procured them. There are also dossiers reportedly compiled by the Sudanese military. The Guardian has seen them and reports they claim that UK manufactured military equipment exported to the UAE is now being used by the RSF. And on that, this is the UK's position.
There is no evidence in the recent reporting of UK weapons or ammunition being used in Sudan.
The UAE told us its export control regime is in line with international law and emphasised that before the war, the UAE did have a defence relationship with Sudan's internationally recognised authorities. It condemned malicious misrepresentation of pre-war Sudanese stockpiles as supposed evidence of current Emirati support. In other words, it claims that any weapons supplied by the UAE were already in Sudan before the war began. It also categorically rejects allegations that it provided, financed, transported, or facilitated military equipment to the RSF. But is this credible? One think tank notes the denials are despite mounting evidence to the contrary. And this war has changed.
The RSF's ability to project power has increased significantly over the course of the conflict.
The UAE stands accused of helping with weapons and with mercenaries too. Last year, it was reported that over 300 Colombians were fighting for the RSF and that they went to the UAE, then Libya, then Sudan. BBC Verifies confirmed videos of mercenaries. These gunmen in El Fasher are in RSF positions. And in this video, BBC Monitoring confirms Spanish phrases specific to Colombia can be heard. We can't confirm where in Sudan this is. This month, the Trump administration urged external actors to cease providing financial and military support. The US Treasury sanctioned a network it accuses of recruiting Colombians for the RSF. One of the individuals, a retired Colombian military officer, is based in the UAE. All of this raises more questions.
We know that the mercenaries themselves have moved physically through the United Arab Emirates, and it's difficult to imagine that that could take place without the knowledge of the government.
The UAE told us anyone providing operational support to an armed non-state actor would be doing so without state authorization, in violation of Emirati law. The US has also talked about countries that are allowing their territory to be used to provide assistance to the RSF. And there are a number of routes in to Sudan. Libya offers one. Flight tracking experts say cargo planes from the UAE have been landing there. We don't know their cargo. We do know the warlord Khalifa Haftar controls this part of Libya. He's widely suspected of supporting the RSF, which he denies, and of being backed by the UAE, which it denies. Somalia offers another route into Sudan. The Sudanese army claims mercenaries have flown there en route from the UAE to the war. And then there's Chad. Reuters documented at least 86 cargo flights from the UAE to Chad. One expert reviewing a video of crates from the planes told Reuters the contents were highly probably ammunition.
Hey guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. Once again, link is in the chat room.
Or weapons. The UAE told us these flights form part of a humanitarian air bridge carrying aid for Sudan, including in support of a UAE field hospital near the border. The denials are unequivocal. But there are reasons the UAE would pay close attention to Sudan. The UAE is the second largest gold trading hub in the world, and Chatham House notes in recent years, most of Sudan's gold has ended up in the UAE. Also, access to Sudan's Red Sea coastline has strategic value. It sits on an important shipping route. And there's the UAE's long-term opposition to political Islam in the region. Until 2019, Sudan was led by the autocrat Omar al-Bashir. Sudan's army has been accused of working with some of the Islamist groups that backed Bashir, which it denies.
However true or disputed that contention is, the idea of a SAF-led government in Sudan is a fairly unpalatable position for the Emiratis.
Go ahead, Em.
Thank you, sir. I was thinking about it. The topic of the discussion is people are more concerned with xenophobia than genocide in not Senegal, but Sudan. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that Africans probably don't see the Sudanese as African. They perhaps see them as Arabs, because we look at what happened with Gaddafi in Libya, how Gaddafi did everything he could to help African countries, or he did something to help African countries. I think he was the president of the African Union. He was working to try to get them a currency that's backed by their natural resources. I just saw something today about how they tapped into this ancient water reservoir underground, and it was able to supply their people with like fresh water, and they could have expanded that beyond the continent or to other parts of the continent to supply fresh water that's tapped underground. And when the American government under a Kenyan named Barack Obama took out Gaddafi, the rest of the African nations did nothing about it. They let that happen. They didn't get together. And even when Trump, he threatened to take Greenland, we saw that all or most of the European nations got together and said, if you do that, we're gonna come against you. The African Union could have at least bluffed and said, you know, if you proceed with your attack on Libya, you're gonna have to deal with everybody. But they did nothing. So that lets me know that I think Africans as a whole are more concerned with their tribes than there are with other Africans or the concerns of other Africans. We saw that with Rwanda when they did their genocide. The rest of the Africans sat back and did nothing. We see that what happened to the Americans in Liberia when they did the genocide against them. The rest of the Africans sat back and did nothing. And and then usually, like what happened with the xenophobia in South Africa, I call them the big two or the big three: Nigerians, Ghanaians, and South Africans. If something happens to one of those nations, the whole world is going to know, because Ghanaians and particularly Nigerians has billionaires. They have some of the richest people on earth, and plus they have this massive population, and they have infiltrated media apparatus all over the earth, so they're able to get their message across. But I don't think Sudanese have the same impact or the influence as the Nigerians or the South Africans to make their concerns known. Because okay, the South Africans is punching people in the face, and that seems like the whole world is like made aware of that. But we see videos of the Arabs killing whole villages in Sudan, and nothing. No discussion, no talk, nothing. Like they don't even care anything about it. And what I think, when I research history, and my greatest patriarch, or my greatest people on earth, the Roman Empire. If that happened in the Roman Empire, they will come to you that same day, wipe you out. Like Justinian, when the Vandals conquered Carthage, I think 500 something AD, he sent the army to wipe them out. Said, go shut that down. But the African nations, I don't even think they're even concerned about other Africans unless it's people of their own tribe, you know. I think that tribalism is their Achilles heel. It's like what happened in the United States when the Americans, it was a bunch of tribes that was divided up here, and they were able to attack certain tribes, indigenous tribes, while the other tribes sat back and watched. Or when the conquistadors attacked certain factions of the Aztecs who was enemies, so the other side sat back and did nothing. And eventually, the side that did nothing, the conquistadors went and took them out too. So I think the Africans should get together and put an end to this genocide in Sudan, and put an end to the slave trade that's going on in Libya. They should really clean up that continent. They should make it their business to clean up that continent. Because if they don't, if they allow this to continue, it's going to spread further south, and they're going to conquer other African nations. They might actually reintroduce colonialism. You got the Chinese over there, probably working with the Arabs, the Europeans. The Africans looking like it was something else I thought of. It's more like opportunistic. Like you noticed how like a black conservative, they would tolerate disrespect from the conservative white people because they feel that they have a future with them. So they'll tolerate disrespect, and they'll attack their own people and defend the white conservative. And you see that sometimes in the Pan-Africanist movement. Like sometimes they will actually accept disrespect from the Africans because we see that we might have some type of future and we don't want to jeopardize that. So we're willing to accept that. So I think some African nations might see some type of future with the Arabs, like the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and they're willing to accept destruction, or they're willing to sacrifice certain parts of Africa to them, or even China. They're willing to accept disrespect from the Chinese people that come to their country because they feel that they might have some type of connection or some type of benefit from China, major, or the mainland China. So I think that dynamic might exist, that they're willing to accept domination from Arabs because they see some type of future or some type of benefit. Or even in America, you see sometimes the African will talk greasy, or they'll be honest with the Black American, right? They'll say, okay, y'all ain't got no power, y'all don't got nothing, but they're not willing to say that about the white man because I think they feel that they have a future or some type of future benefit with white people in America. I don't think they see any type of future benefit with us, so they're willing to throw us under the bus, and they're not quick to throw the white people under the bus because they feel that that's the key to their future or salvation. So I see those type of dynamics at play as far as why they don't want to talk about the genocide in Sudan, yet they want to talk about the xenophobia that's happening to the big two, the Ghanaians and the, what you call them, Nigerians in South Africa, because they have like this influence and this power and this money. But yeah.
All right, guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can just click on that link. Again, link is in the chat room. And what you doing for Juneteenth?
When is that? Tomorrow? I ain't doing nothing. I'm in summer school right now, so I'm probably gonna finish up some homework. See what I'm saying?
What do you study? You studying architecture, right?
Yeah, I'm studying architecture. I'm thinking like, because you know we have Gary, Indiana. I live close to that. Plus, we see a lot of cities, like even part of Chicago, that is a boom in architecture because they done destroyed so many neighborhoods. So
oh
it's really
shit! How do you feel about the new Obama library?
I mean, they just opened that up. I think it's ugly. Like, he got a white man to design. He could have got a black architect to do that. You see what I'm saying? He could have got an African to do that because you got African architects. It's just some type of primitive geometric shape. I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it's across the street from this high school called Hyde Park High School, right? Hyde Park High School looked like a Greek temple with these columns. They call them orders, like they got Doric orders. You could argue that this high school looks better than that Obama Center. You see what I'm saying? But I think they could have did a better job with the design work. Well, they could have got some students that study architecture and got them to do some input. So I think it's a waste of money. It's not like compelling. It's not something to remember. You know, you should have put that. I mean, it's good that it's where it is, but they say it's causing gentrification. It's causing the prices to go up in the neighborhood. But I think it could have been more spectacular. It could have, you got some temples in Mali that look better than that. You see, they could have got some of them to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Taraka.
I don't think the Obama Center is that bad. Yeah, it could have been a little bit better, but I really don't think it's that bad. You know, as a lover of architecture, and what type of architecture are you studying?
Well, I'm just in the beginning stages, so we're dealing with studying Revit. We do like residential structures. My last project, we did a mass timber 9-story building. So we're dealing with residential, commercial, and not industrial yet, but just residential, commercial architecture. But when I want to get into, I want to really focus on residential architecture, houses and apartment complexes.
But what I mean is, are you going to go for like the same old, or are you going to incorporate African type along with modern architecture?
I don't know if I was necessarily say African type. I'm thinking like every people should have their own style. So I might try to develop a particular style. But I do like the architecture in the Burkina Faso and Mali. I think that's probably the best looking structures in the world, especially the organic shapes of their houses. You know, they got it was smooth curvatures. Like a lot of Europeans, still a lot of the architecture in West Africa.
That's where they get most of it from, including modern architecture.
Yeah, they get a lot of inspiration from West
Yeah,
Africa. They
yeah, from
plagiarize it. I'm like, y'all stole that from Mali.
yeah,
Stole that from
from Mali, from Nigeria, from all over Africa, Uganda, Cameroon, you name it.
yeah, history and architecture. We touched on African architecture as one of the chapters it deals with. It deals with American architecture. Actually, did you know that the ball game was started by the people in North America? All ball games like football, soccer, all of that was invented in North America by the mound builders. So we touched on the mound builders.
Oh,
they invented
Lord.
the ball games. That was just part of the curriculum. You see what I'm saying? It's just trivia knowledge. But I'm saying I don't want to be a plagiarist and look at ancient civilizations and steal their style. I might get inspired by some of their styles.
Let me read this super chat. Mr. Sandman. Hey, Mr. Sandman, I've been calling you, Mr. Sandman. I've been calling you. And I text you. Thank you for 499 holla. The Romans are Italians and they can't stand us. They call us eggplants.
I don't know what that means. But let me finish up. As far as yeah, as far as the genocide, yeah, you know, backed somewhat by America, but the United Arab Emirates are the main people in their dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the one who's supplying the weapons and so forth. They stealing their gold. So I wish Iran would have fucking destroyed the hell out of them. I'm telling you. I truly wish that they ended that imitation society, because they're responsible for a lot of atrocities in Africa. They act like they're not, and they invested in all that, but that's not true. You see? So they are the main culprit. All right, and hopefully, they come to their goddamn senses and realize that this shit is coming from the outside. But it's real bad. It's real bad. And you're right. Not enough concentration on Africa. I mean, on Sudan. Not enough concentration on Sudan. It needs to be more. An intervention force should be sent there. African intervention force, because it's real bad. It's way worse than what people even think. Way worse. But I'll leave it like that for now.
All right. Africa, go ahead.
Yeah, greetings to everyone, chat and on the panel. I hope everyone is well this evening. Yeah, I will start with Sudan, right? Sudan, there's a proxy going on in Sudan, okay? Based on all evidence, we know the RSF, this is evidential. The RSF was trained and funded by the Wagner. Okay, that's the Russian. If you watch the documentary about Blood Gold, it will actually explain exactly what's going on in Sudan. And the problem we have in Africa is that our leaders are traitors. They're dumb. They've got low IQ. The African Union is weak. We have no power. We have no leverage. The reality is the Russians have been taking advantage of Sudan for a long time. Russia has been using the gold in Sudan to fund the war in Ukraine. There are areas, if you speak to people from Sudan, they will explain this to you. There are areas in Sudan.
Africa, you are completely wrong. I just finished talking about United Arab Emirates that everybody acknowledged, including the African Union.
Also, I agree. United Arab Emirates is also behind it, 100%.
Not also behind it. They're the one who's behind it. How Russia get into this?
I don't know if you know this, but Wagner, RSF is a Wagner-trained militia.
You better go back to the drawing board, bro.
No, 100%. It's not. This is way before. It's a known fact. This has been this is something that is old before this problem in the Sahel. I'm telling you, bro. I've been following it for a long time. The RSF is a Wagner militia, 100%. There's no question about it. the blood gold in Sudan.
Where you got that from? CNN and the BBC?
No, but the West also, they're all behind this. That's why I said it's a proxy. This is not one angle, okay?
So why would the West join with Russia?
When it comes to Africa, these people will join.
Oh, come on, dude, stop. Come on, Africa, man, stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Well,
America is not joining nothing with Russia. Stop it.
Okay, I know you find it hard to believe right now.
It's not finding it hard to believe, bro. It's not. I'm not finding it hard to believe. It's just facts. You're not speaking the facts.
Okay. All right. So the United Arab Emirates is a corridor for the illicit gold, to the west and to Russia. It is a corridor. It's a proxy. They've been used. Okay, they have been used to exploit Africa. They will use the jihadists. They've been used to train jihadists and all these terrorists in the region, to cause mayhem so they could come in and get their hand in our resources. This is just a fact. Okay. And then you have.
You're wrong, but go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So you have time will tell. You have the United Arab Emirates. We all know. Okay. The United Arab Emirates is obviously heavily behind a lot of the conflict that we have in Africa, especially in the Sahel and West Africa. And they are not far behind. They're very close to Israel and Saudi. The United Arab Emirates is a province of Israel and Saudi in the Middle East. So these are all things that we know. So what is the solution here? The solution here is to increase. We need to increase defense spending. Africa don't spend on defense. They do not. They actually play around, with national security. Until we actually start spending money on defense and defend the continent of Africa, it will never stop. Throughout history, we always been invaded by outsiders. They never stopped invaded Africa. We always been invaded. If you go back to history, there is not one time in our humanity where we've not been invaded by outsiders. It could be the West, it could be the Middle East, it could be the Russians. But I would say the Russians maybe less because
when did Russia invade Africa? Man, stop, man. God damn, you stupid.
Okay.
Hey guys, can some of us also speak?
Yeah, so now it's about time we change our foreign policy in Africa entirely. The African leaders need to start speaking behind doors, closed doors. They need to start having a different mindset. To be honest with you, if that doesn't change, it's going to be a big problem. Look at India, for example. India do not stick to one ally. India, they play these people. India will play the West. They'll play the BRICS. They'll go to Africa. They'll play friends. You need to be smart because we don't have the weapons. We don't have way to defend ourselves right now. We need to be very diplomatic and very smart while we arm ourselves to defend what is ours. I'm telling you, Russia never invaded Africa directly. I totally agree with that. I will give you that to heart. Okay, they never have. In fact, they have came in the help of Africa when
why you mention Africa and not England?
No, let me just
and not America. I don't understand. Why even bringing that up?
Okay, I am telling you because the reason why I'm saying this.
You guys are all over the place. The question is, are Africans more concerned of what is happening in South Africa than what is being done in Sudan?
No, we're talking about Sudan.
All over the place. The answer is yes.
Yes, absolutely. What I'm trying to say.
After 45 seconds, I got to pass the mic.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, yes, all those questions are yes, but also the RSF that's currently involved in the killings in Sudan were trained by Wagner and they've been supplied equipment by the Wagner. And Wagner is Russian link. So I pass the mic. Thank you.
Bullshit. Get off the damn mic. Bullshit.
But what is preventing Africans from saying no to all these people? these people that are bringing weapons. Why are we quick to put the blames on other people than taking the responsibility ourselves?
I already answered that question.
Mm.
If you listen to what I said,
No, you blaming Russia this or
the
the Arab this, but the issue is
African
in
leaders
the
need to change strategy and start having meetings behind closed doors. They need to change strategy
no
now. If they don't change it, it's going to be too
is
late.
African themselves. We are so
That's what I'm trying to
divided. All
say.
this thing of one Africa, this one Africa, that Pan Africanism, this those things will never work. What is best for Africa is for each people in their own country working on fixing their own country. That's what we will help Africa. All this Pan-Africanism and all this won't work.
That can't work because they
Africans,
use each
as
country to play off each
Africans,
other.
Exactly.
hate each other.
Nah,
Africans hate each other.
man, get off the line, bro.
No, we're not, Jocker. We're not doing that today. Let the man finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. No, you see, these are the kinds of. This is why the continent is the way it is. It's because of people like this. You don't want to hear the truth.
That's not a truth, bro.
It is the truth.
That's not a truth. That's not a truth. They play off each other. They use the countries with each other.
No, if those people in those
They
countries
play off
say
each
no,
other. They use the countries to play off each
Talk,
other. You're an idiot.
Let him finish, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to start the name calling today. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Idiots a name calling, bro?
Yes, it is.
That's not a name calling, man. That's men.
Yeah,
Guys,
but you're insulting people, bro. Just chill.
let's be civilized, one person at a time, please.
Go ahead, GQ.
If those people in those countries said no to all those people who are trying to invade their country and bringing weapons to kill their own brothers, if they say no, would they be forced to do it? That's where the issue lies. Africans are so greedy; they're ready to sacrifice their own families for peanuts. That's the issue in Africa. We are more concerned about what the South Africans are doing. All they're doing is telling people to go and fix the country, and it blows up all over the internet. But the most important issue where villages are being wiped out. Look what is happening in the Congo. Villages are being wiped out. People are killing each other. But we over here complaining about what some South African is saying to the Ghanaian, go and fix your country and all that. But the most important
They're not
issue
saying
that
they're
we should
targeting
concentrate
in
on
the street and beating
is
them and killing some of them. Stop minimizing the issue.
so what is being done in South Africa is worse than what is being done in Sudan and in the Congo.
It does not matter. It's just as bad. It's just bad. It's just all bad. So period.
It's not.
You're trying to come here to gaslight us. It's not going to work.
You guys are just so obsessed with South Africa. I don't even know what is in South Africa for you guys to be obsessed with.
Where you from? Where you from?
There is important issues.
Where are you from?
Where
are you from?
Look what is happening in Nigeria.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
How many? Don't worry about where I'm from.
Black South African.
Where are you from, dude? Are you from South Africa?
No,
Are you from South Africa?
I'm from Central African Republic. If you want to know, that's where I'm from.
Okay, that's the question I ask you.
A shithole of a country. A shithole of a country. And that's the issue of African. We are ready to blame other people but ourselves. And we live in the consequences of that. How many times, Dinus, how many times on this channel have you spoken about the Boko Haram issues in Nigeria? How many times are we talking about what is happening in the Congo?
Loads of times.
A lot of times. I've been on this live. I've never heard, maybe once or twice or so. But South Africa is on here all the time.
That's not true.
That's not true. They're the least. South Africa is the least. You haven't been listening, bro.
Go ahead and spoke.
South Africa is the least.
You're not from Central Africa.
That just came up the other day with the Xenophobia. Just the other day. That's the least.
Just the other day, but what is happening in Sudan? And
we talk about the AES more than any other place.
But what about the genocide in Sudan? What about the genocide in the Congo? When are we going to
We talked about Congo yesterday.
We're talking about it right now. Are we talking about it right now?
We talk about Congo yesterday.
We're talking about it right now.
There's no solutions. Just talk.
We're talking about it right now. You don't have no solution either.
We
I
talked
just
about
told you
Congo yesterday.
the solution is for each African country to
That's a dumb
concentrate on fixing
solution.
their own
Dumb
country,
solution.
and
That's a dumb
I
solution.
think next,
that's not
please.
a
I don't
dumb.
think
Maybe
It's a
this
this is
guy is
dumb
dumb
not adding
solution
any
to
solution.
value.
you.
All
Maybe
right,
this is
next,
dumb
please. I
solution to
don't.
you.
Don't
Yeah.
interrupt. GQ, you got 30 seconds, and then I gotta pass
No,
the mic. You got 30
All
I'm
right.
done. They can speak. They can speak,
Yeah, get off the
and
channel,
All
these
right,
bro.
let
other
me
Get
pass the
people
off.
mic.
are the
Let me pass the mic
and
to
Go,
these
Major
other
Tahaka,
Bendu.
no,
people
you
that
need
are
to chill.
adults. They can speak. They can blame.
Tahaka, you
They
need to
can
chill,
blame
bro.
the
Get
whole
off the channel.
All right,
They can blame
let
the
me
whole
pass the
world
mic to
but
let me pass
themselves.
the mic to Major Bendu. Go ahead, Major Bendu. Major Bendu. Major Bendu, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. All right, let me pass the mic to Reverend Green. Go ahead, Reverend Green.
Hello?
Yeah, Reverend Green, go ahead.
Amen, Reverend Green. Amen.
Reverend
All
Green, we
right.
can't hear you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Hey, can somebody turn their TV down in the background? Somebody's TV is
All right.
playing.
1 second. 1 second, sir. All right. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, go
Hello?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Dinus. And everybody hit the like button for Search for Uhuru. They have a great collection of videos of positive information from here in the diaspora, as they would say, as Pan-Africans. And it's a global network, you see. It's called danfo. However, previously on Search for Uhuru, the man in the high castle, Reverend Green, has spoken about this. The eviction notices are here. They have been processed. The notice to quit. It's time to leave South Africa because the Midnight Raiders are ready. They're ready, and they're going to push those who don't have their paperwork out. And I think others who just get in the way. They might have their paperwork, whatever, but it's going to be ugly. People are running with their own ideas, and they want to
Reverend,
be,
that
they
you're out
want,
of the
they,
topic. You're out of the subject, Reverend.
this is exactly what the topic is, correct?
Hold on, Reverend Green. What's the topic?
South Africa.
Reverend Green, read the topic.
You see,
No,
people
GQ, I'm not
are
talking.
so
I'm not talking.
upset.
GQ, I'm not talking to you. Reverend Green, go read the topic.
I'm away from the YouTube part, but 1 second. Could you read it to me, sir?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Read it, Dinus. Read it to him. He didn't know.
I saw South Africa. Xenophobia.
But guys, seriously, so because I get this a lot. So are you guys not able to see the title sometime?
I'm already on the stream.
I can see it.
So I
can
saw
see
South
it, yeah.
Africa. I saw South Africa and xenophobia.
Can I read the title for you? Are Africans more concerned about xenophobia in South Africa than the genocide in Sudan?
That's a great caption and title. Yes. I think the world is too. Yep. The world at large. Yep. The media, unfortunately, is more hyper focused on. I'm not saying the South African xenophobia is trivial, but in the scheme of things, compared to what's been going on in Sudan and amplified right now, yes, it is very trivial. There's children out there. There's men and women. And there's no relief. It's South Sudan, correct? That area?
No, it's
Sudan,
not South.
North Sudan or Sudan.
Okay.
Sudan, just
You
Sudan.
know, it's I remember the whole Darfur situation. You would thought it was over, but the war machine keeps on turning, as Black Sabbath would say in Ozzy Osbourne. You know, the war machine keeps on turning, and they're sending more child soldiers. Old men are sending more child soldiers to fight. This is not necessary.
Hey, you know what I'd like to know? Hey, Green,
Go ahead.
Mr. Green, if you because you be saying some stuff that be really it lets me know you do a lot of research, right? So why is it happening? Why are the Arabs attacking the Sudanese? Like, what is it all about?
Can I
Okay,
be
this is
frank,
not.
sir? Can I and I'm gonna kick the soccer ball back to you, to the panel. I want to be transparent. I've used the term before. I've used the sand, but like I said, I'm not going to use it on the show to be disrespectful to the broader audience. I understand what Mr. Dynas is trying to do. He wants to appeal to a broader audience. So I'm going to regulate myself. But the sand folks, they are outrageous on the continent. And it's either
does somebody have their TV? Does somebody have their TV playing in the background? If you can,
yes, someone does, not me.
Yeah, just
you know, it's the sand people. The sand people. It doesn't matter if you're black or white to them sometimes, but in the name of white racism, white supremacy, which is real, even on the continent, it's just in a different manifestation. The Arab Muslims are causing ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing of any kind, anywhere, is wrong. Y'all need to back up your own push your tethers away. Y'all got tethers on that continent, and that's the sand cracker. I rest my case.
All right, let me pass the mic to Raphael. Go ahead, Raphael, mute yourself.
Hey, good evening, Dennis. I don't really have anything to say. I agree with the guy that spoke before. I mean, a lot of black people have smoke for other black people, but when it comes to Sunni Muslims, they don't do anything. They just cry, beg, and move on with their life.
I appreciate you.
I mean, also,
go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There are also videos. If you look on if you look on Instagram, there are videos of people being sold in Libya right now, like Somalians, Eritreans, Nigerians. But you don't hear anything from the Nigerians. You don't hear anything from the Somalians, and you don't hear anything from the Eritrean people protesting or anything. But they protest in South Africa against South Africans. I don't understand.
Are you South African?
No, I'm Surinamese.
Why does everyone have to be South African?
None of your effing business, bro. I didn't ask you nothing.
I was born in the Netherlands, so I'm actually from South America, but I was born in the Netherlands.
The only person who could really stop all this right now would be President Trump.
Iran is also sort of in some way they sort of help. I won't say that they help Africans, but because they put pressure on those Arab nations, so the UAE and some of those other nations that that fund terrorism. Qatar, for example, Qatar and all those other places that fund
Dennis.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking if when I hear a new person speak, if they're South African, is because I want South Africans to come on the panel. That's why I'm asking. I want them to be on the panel.
They are too busy to be here.
Again, I wasn't talking to you, idiot.
He's South African. He's not brave enough. That's what it is.
No, you are just obsessed with those people. Leave those people alone. They're taking care of their own country, as we should do.
Well, they don't have a country,
bro.
They live. They're tenants in their own home.
They take care of their own. They take care of their own country.
You own your own land.
Can all of us, all eight of us on the panel agree to one thing?
Anyway, there's a lady here that waiting to speak. Let the lady.
Yeah. Go ahead, V.
Oh, hello guys. Hello, Dennis. Yeah,
Vincent.
I was reading your title, and I said, "Oh, I'll come on and say a little bit." As it stands now, Africa is in a more terrible place than what is happening in South Africa. Even though it's not pleasant, I'm not saying it is. There's a huge geopolitics going on in Africa, where the whole continent is being carved up. Literally. You have the Israelis are going into, I think it's Somaliland or something. There is the Qataris whom are buying huge space of land in East Africa because they know their land is desert and they need somewhere to come and grow their arable and stuff like that. Saudi Arabia is also doing similar things. You have the French. Well, you all know what they're doing with their so-called independent colonies. They are so-called independent, but they're still colonies. You have the huge, terrible situation going on in the Congo, where Paul Kagame is heavily implicated, looking for land to grab, especially where the mineral resources are. That's why the war is going on there. We have the Sudan, which you put in your title, where people are literally being, ethnically cleansed by these so-called Arabs. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to say one situation is worse or better than the other, but we are in a mess. We have a leadership on that continent that they don't know their left from right, and all they want to do is come into power and stay in power. You have the Sahelians who are battling and doing their best to try and secure their land from these marauding Arabs again, with what they call Tuaregs or whatever they are. They are with their. You see the people that the leaders of these groups. Have you seen the pictures of them? Have you seen when they capture or kill some of them? Have you seen their pictures? They're all Arabs. The leaders of these Tuaregs. I mean, I know Tuaregs. They're coming.
Some of them are black. You talking about in the AES?
The Tuaregs, most of the significant leaders, yes, some of the significant
Arabs.
leaders that I've seen being killed. I'll say they've got rid of about 5. Only one that I've seen is black. The rest are all Arabs. And even that black one, he obviously hasn't got his head screwed on because he probably think he's an Arab, but no. I mean, the continent is in a mess. You know, it's an absolute mess. And we don't seem to care about, I know what's going on in South Africa is bad. And the South Africans need to exercise patience and do, you know, if they want people, immigration to be controlled. And it's not just about Ghana and Nigeria, the Malawi and Zimbabwe and all over the place. You know, people are, you know, they're in conflict with almost Ethiopians, Somalians, everybody else they are in conflict with.
Everybody, including their close neighbors that are from the same ethnic group.
I don't know if they are in conflict with the people from the same ethnic group, though, but they're in conflict with the people from
Yes,
certain countries.
Zimbabwe have ethnic group from South Africa. So is
No, Zimbabwe does
Namibia,
not. Namibia does. Only
Botswana.
Namibia.
But
No,
Namibia,
but
I've not heard South Africans complaining about Namibians because Namibia is only a nation of 4 million anyway. And also Namibia, their land, about 80%, or is it about something like that? I'm not sure if it's 80%, but
White
a
owned.
huge is controlled by the colonizers. So what I mean, what are we talking about here? What exactly is going on over in that continent? We should talk about our leaders. You know, they're the one causing this trouble. The weak, pathetic leaders we have on that continent, they're weak and pathetic.
All of them?
Most of them. I will only exclude the Sahelians because they're the only people that I've seen they're showing some sort of backbone over there. Look at this Senegalese guy they just been put in. You come in as you won with the political movement. You come in and say, "Oh, I don't want anything to do with my political movement. I want to go independent now," or whatever they say he's doing. You have a country whereby there's a huge political, economic situation going on there, a huge debt that you guys have discovered. You know, everything needs to be fixed in that country. And he's only interested to how he's going to stay in power, how he's going to be Sonko, how he's going to stop that Sonko so that he could stay on. Because he knows that he goes against him, he will lose. You know, so he's going to do everything within his power. And is that why the Senegalese voted for him to go and sit in the presidency, use his power to try and stop his opponent, the opponent that he has created himself? So I mean, how would this? I mean, I wouldn't have to blame even them anyway. But how did they even think that man is capable of even running anything? You know, this is the kind of pathetic leadership that's going on all over Africa, and Africans are in a mess. And somebody said, yes, in Libya, they're still selling Africans, Nigerians. Every day they're chasing Nigerians in Libya, you know. They're doing terrible things to Nigerians in Libya and Eritreans.
And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that.
No, nobody talks about that. No, the South Africans are monsters, yeah. But nobody's talking about what's going on in Libya. The level of, you know, I mean, unaliving that's going on over there. These are Africans that they're trying to get through to Europe.
Who created the problem in Libya, V?
I don't want to know who created the problem in Libya, but the problem is there. It is there.
Yeah. He just commemorated his new library in Chicago today.
Thank you very much, Diana.
Why are they not talking about it? Why are they Nigerians not up in arms about it? Why are they not up in arms about it? They've even Nigerians have labeled Ghanaians as xenophobic as well. They have labeled Ghanaians. They were up until the South African issue happened, and then the South Africans went on Ghanaians and every other person over there. Nigerians were every day they were targeting Ghanaians all over on the internet.
It was on both sides, V.
No, it was. I mean, listen. Why do you compare 200 and something million people to 30 million? I mean, how powerful can we be? Even if we have, how many people do we even have on the internet anyway? And
does it matter? Does it matter the size? Look what Israel is doing with 8 million people.
I'm gonna let you Africans fight each other right now on the panel.
To 8 million people.
Look what Israel is doing with only 8 million people. The size doesn't matter.
Israel is much more powerful nation. You know, you gotta give them that. They're very powerful nation. So
they're powerful because America, V. Because
why are you
our military
trying to blame other people? I don't get it.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Was I talking to you?
That's
blame other people.
You always blame the outside.
We're talking about size.
The issues in Africa. The issues we need to get our stuff together.
Can someone stop interrupting, please? Because I think someone
don't know what
Israel
is doing in Africa. Let V finish. Let V finish. Go ahead, V.
Get some decent leaders on that continent, guys, and stop. America did this. Israel is doing that. The Europeans are doing this to us. The French are doing this. In the meanwhile, we have pathetic leaders that don't know their left from right, sitting in the presidencies all over the place, and all they care about is how they're going to stay in power to cause more mayhem and destroy more people's lives. That is all they're doing.
Lack leadership. Again, people trying to insult and say stuff, but that's just the reality. Lack of leadership.
The reason why there's a huge migration all over the continent, people moving from A to B, is because of pathetic leadership.
Yeah.
That's why people are moving from one place, and you go there, and the people that you go over there to, they're also struggling. So what do you expect them to do?
And the president from Zimbabwe just changed the constitution. He will be there until 2030.
Oh yeah, he is. He's changed it. Yes, and he's an old man. The guy's in his 80s. You know, he's in his 80s.
Anyway, sorry, I would let you finish.
And the guy in what's it, Tshisekedi in Congo, he's also trying to change the constitution. And we all know what Ouattara did. He's there for 20 years, and he's trying to put his brother now in. Al-Hassan Ouattara wants to put his younger brother in. It goes on.
Can I
on.
add something? Sorry, Fee. Can I add something?
No, bro, you've been interrupting and speaking a lot. Just let other people speak now, man.
Yeah, I was just trying to add something that the president of Congo was at the World Cup. I just wanted to say that he's basically where his country is in like a war, and he was at he's at the World Cup.
Why his villages are being burnt? He's at the World Cup. Yeah, of course he'll be there. You know what I mean? It's a terrible place. When you think about what is going on in Africa, what we're doing to each other, it's just worse than sometimes what other people have been doing to us. And those people, they cannot get at us if they don't have local collaborators. It's the local people that give them the opportunity to do what they're doing, because they cannot succeed without some of us collaborating with them. It's always been the story. That's always been the history, and that's always been what is causing the problem on the continent. And I'm fed up with
You know what I think?
Yes, it's your turn. Yes, come. Yeah, go on.
You know what I think Africa as a whole should do, because I always talk about the Roman Empire. I think there's something to be studied, right? And I think they should focus more on their creed and ideology more so than their tribe. Because if you look at the Roman Empire, it was made up of people from all over the world with different religions, languages, but they was all united under the same creed, and they was under the same law. Before they had an empire, it was a republic under the 12 laws, the 12 tables. See what I'm saying? When they became an empire, everybody was under the protection of Caesar. It was like they had a mantra: all for one, one for all. If you attack one, you attack all, and all is going to come at you. The whole world knew that, and that kind of protected everybody. But there's no real mantra for Africa. Even with Pan-Africanism, it was kind of created off of what we did in America, because we had to unite as a people because we was being oppressed, not because of what region of America we was on. We was being oppressed because we was black people. And that was like, and it's very similar to the Roman Empire, because Pan-Africanism is an ideology. It's a creed, and it says we're all together and we all in it as one against white supremacy, right? But Africa as a whole doesn't have a creed. It's not like if you attack this country, the whole continent is going to come at you with full force. Or it's not like if one part of the continent is suffering, everybody else is going to put on to help them with their tragedy or whatever issue they got going on. They don't really have an ideology because they still on tribalism, and I think that's what's holding them back.
But you have this guy is on here on the panel saying that you can't do that. Everybody should take care of their own.
It has happened many times in the world. Even the Russian USSR.
And then you
look at the Russians; they was made up of different nations. The USSR, even before that, like most of the empires in the world, was made up of multiple regions united under one emperor or under one ideology, or a pope, or a sultan, or a caliph. It was always something that united all of these different people. And I think they should go back to that.
Look what the AES just did with their resources. They combine each other. They combine into one.
Africa is a continent, and you cannot have that huge continent being under one rule or whatever. We need to break it down regionally. Regionally.
Exactly. You're absolutely correct.
Like Pan-Africanism is not really a nation; it's just an idea that people adopt.
Do you know why Pan-Africanism right now is not effective on the continent and anywhere else? It's because of the ideologies shift to the far left. Africa on the continent probably would benefit more with nationalism, not Pan-Africanism. That's the issue.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. Look, the problem we face is a region. I think we have a regional issue. Africa, if you look at the continent itself, through our history, it was never united. It's a fact. You can't, having to unite the continent as a whole is a huge task, and is something that I can't see happening now. But what we could do is regionalism. The entire region of West Africa could have their own bloc. East Africa can have their own bloc. North Africa have their own bloc. South Africa have their own bloc.
They have it right now.
But I'm just saying.
It's just not implemented the way it's supposed to, but they have it right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
if I may, yeah. But the thing is, it's not working because look at ECOWAS. Okay, so it's not working, and so we're missing out on right now also, we are entering a new stage of scramble for Africa, and people might want to drag us to go to drag the topic to go somewhere else. It's a tribal base, yes, religious base, yes, ideology base, yes, but the outside the problem is also we need to add the problem that's coming from outside. I read it here the other day, a UK well-known UK newspaper. They said the UK is missing out on the new scramble of Africa. Why is there not for us to understand? Our leaders read newspapers every day.
Are you sure?
Are they actually, do they have, yes, as the paper is there. It's there.
Are you sure they're really up to date with the current situation that's going on the continent?
They must be. They must be. Look, these people are busy begging, coming to Europe and America, begging for aid, begging for money, and begging them, look, when I finish my 100-year leadership, please let me back in Europe so I can have my houses that the houses that I bought, the wealth that I stole, so I can, have it in the bank, and so my great grandchildren will enjoy the rest of the money. That's what it's about.
Hey, man, Africa.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire had a similar situation. So what did Julius Caesar do? He did what Tridori did. Took him out and made himself the emperor. Sometimes you got to go in there and take power from the people that's squandering the power.
Yeah, well, this is what's happening. This is why we have schools in West Africa, and this is why I brought the system of Mansa and Farmer. It's not new. People sit there and think. Listen, people think what's going on in the AES is something new. These people don't read as ancient African history. It's a very ancient thing. What these guys are doing in the AES now in West Africa, it's been going on for a long time. Some of our leaders who rule the people badly, they was kicked out. They was kicked out by warriors.
Yeah, but
We had
listen,
warrior clans.
Africa, listen, what is happening now is, now the bad leaders, they've got really powerful government behind them. So it'd be impossible to kick them out. The bad leaders, let me just use West Africa as an example. Al-Hassan Ouattara's got the French behind him. Benin, they've got the French, and Nigeria behind them. So, and Ghana, they've got the Americans there. What's the other places, So,
V, did you see the Ivory Coast president is trying to get close to the AES? You saw that this week?
Well, I heard some news. I heard some news about that, and to me, I would look at that man with a huge suspicion. As they say, if the devil invites you to the table, make sure you go with a very long spoon. I don't trust him. That man has been he's a French stooge. If you look at his history, right? The man was groomed in France. He schooled in France. When he was schooling in France, he used to go under the nationality of Burkina. And at some point he switched because I think he's got mixed parentage. Some, like the usual story that you have a parent from one nation and a parent from the other nation. So he then became a French Ivorian citizen. That was one dispute that they were having with him, but he said he was a Ivorian citizen at that time. And he was groomed in France. He worked for the IMF, I think the IMF and the World Bank and all those big financial institutions. He was literally plucked from France to come to Ivoria to make sure that Gbagbo, who was then making a lot of noise about trying to get away from the CFA, that currency that the French are so eager to hold on to, that they brought him in. And when the guy came in, he said there was an electoral dispute, and all of a sudden there was a northern rebels where they were fighting all the way from the north, and with the French backing, they removed Gbagbo. They bombed the Ivorian palace, the presidential palace. The French did that. So he had the French backing. Even it is said that his wife was even sort of an arranged marriage by the French for him. So this is how groomed this man is. And
Hey,
since
V,
he's
can I
been
ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you believe that people are more concerned with xenophobia in South Africa than the genocide in Sudan?
We should be concerned with the xenophobic attack, yes, but we are more concerned with those things than talking about what is happening in Sudan, which is equally as terrible. And they've been suffering long.
Equally? You bugging, man.
Wait.
Equally,
See what's going
really,
on in
equally.
what's going on in Sudan is obviously genocide. Okay, and
Are
what's
you
going on in
mad?
Sudan is genocide, and that
Right.
genocide that's
Obviously,
going
it
on in
is
Sudan.
genocide.
No,
It is.
yeah. So that genocide that been going on in Sudan has been going on in that region for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, they've been using these tactics for a long time. That's what I said earlier, and people not listening. If you look at Egypt, we all know, yeah, we all know majority of the people who used to live in the southern Egypt, right? These were majority dark skinned black people. And they got pushed down, they got pushed down, they got pushed down. If you look at Morocco, the same thing. Those that used to live in Morocco, they used to be dark skinned people. They got pushed down, they got pushed down. And you look at Mauritania today, it's mainly light skinned people there. No, actually, there are majority black people in Mauritania, but the light skin have taken over and imposed themselves. So the problem is where do we start? I mean, who to blame for this? Who to blame for this? Again, it goes back to our leadership in the region and the continent, because these people
But
allow.
who votes for those leadership though?
No, I will not. Listen.
Oh,
It's not as
I won't
simple as
trust
those.
the voting that goes on. No, not enough West
Okay?
Africa.
So,
Africa, I don't
so
trust
in
the
West,
voting. No.
and
Hey,
there are
look, I'll
people
give y'all.
who.
Hey, Africa, I'll give you an example of the power of just a creed, right? In America, from
Right,
coast to coast, the
right,
Chinese man was acquitted for killing a teenage boy, and the whole
right.
entire black community in America, from coast to coast, north to south, decided we're
Mm.
going to boycott all Chinese businesses because it happened.
Yes,
If it happened to one of us, it happened to all of us, and we're moving
right,
as one unit, regardless of the region we in. And I think that should happen over there in Africa. Like whatever happens to
right.
one side happens to all. Like you can't just look at because some
I agree.
South Africans is still punching some Ghanaians in the face, and you're gonna ignore the Arabs doing a genocide or having a slave trade in North Africa. You're gonna just
Yeah,
not even. The least you could do is talk about it. See what I'm saying? That
yeah,
doesn't really cause money, but to just make
yeah.
it seem like it's just another day in the walk in the park. Like I'm looking like it maybe people don't care about the people in Sudan, or maybe Africans don't care about people that's not in their tribe. Maybe that's
Mm,
true.
yeah.
Maybe they need to change that.
No, but the problem is we're more focused on our tribes and our regions. We're more focused on tribe. I think, to be honest, I said this before. Tribalism is the curse of West African and Africa in general, because we have so much focus on tribe. We forgot about the bigger picture. And these people know this and they study this. They can hear it. They know how it works, and they know how to divide these people. They know exactly how it works. But
Africa, do you know
yeah.
that the tribal thing is not just the people, sometimes it's the leadership as well. The political leaders
Of
also
course,
play on these
they the
tribal
one that
things.
exactly they the one that play on the tribalism. We know to get votes. To use the divide and rule. What the system that the Europeans are using against black people, it is 100% the same system that they're using against the other tribes. So, for example, if this tribe come to power, they will put all their ethnic folks on the military. They will put all their ethnic folks on the main sectors to keep them in power. And these people that they put there, it's not because they're competent. They put in there just to protect them. So,
But
and also by doing that, you have the entire nation
Hey,
against
guys,
you, right?
you got 30 seconds. We got two new people on here. I got to bring on. So you got 30
Yeah,
seconds. I gotta pass them out.
no problem. By doing that, you have an entire nation, against you. And this nation, you're gonna have fragmented people out there who are easily swayed by outside influence. And this is what's been happening for a long time. I pass the mic. Thank you.
Dennis, let me ask you a question before you put these people on.
Go ahead.
Okay, when you open up your internet news, your social media, any international news that you watch on TV or wherever you get your news from, do you really see anything about Sudan?
No, not at all.
No, no.
Here
It's
is
a filter. It's being filtered.
here lies the problem. They make sure, and it's deliberate. None of the international organization talk about it. None of the not even Al Jazeera. Nobody.
I was about to mention that
Once in
too.
a while, they put it on there. It's deliberate. So that's why it's South Africa is more focused. They push that. You see what I'm saying? And they push other things, but they won't and they will not push what's happening in Sudan. Not even the Congo so much. The only reason why you hear about the Congo more is because so much wealth is embedded in the Congo. If you check the wealth, right, of Sudan, you would see both North and South Sudan, same country to me anyway. You see how much wealth is in that country and how they could extract it out without nobody even knowing what the hell is going on. That's
Can
all
I
I'm gonna
add
say.
something to
All right,
your?
let me. I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, man.
Can I?
No,
Can
I
I add
gotta
something?
pass them. I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, man.
Hey, peace and love to the chat. I hope everyone's doing
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. We're good.
so we're talking about, they're not really talking about the Sudan situation, but they're talking about the South Africa situation. Well, my opinion, I mean, this is just my opinion. I want people to think about this. What if the reason why there's so much a concentrated effort on South Africa, because are we not going to forget what happened about a year ago? What did South Africa do? Who did they send to court on the ICC? Does everybody remember?
Oh yeah, I know. The
Israel.
country.
Yeah.
You're right. That's part of it. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. So I feel like because what South Africa did and they sent that nation to the ICC, they got pissed off. And that nation is also friends with the US. So now they might be, not saying they might be funded, but maybe they might know some other people to fund this group, to cause chaos, to cause confusion. So they can lose money. And let's say if they do lose money and stuff, they can come back and control some resources or some land down there.
Can I take 30 seconds of your time?
What happened? What'd you say?
Can I take 2 seconds of your time to ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. You may not notice, but or if you're not into the sport, but Formula One is going to Africa in about 2 to 3 years, and South Africa was a leading candidate because they had it during the 60s, 70s, 80s. I think all the way up to early 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And American Jews own Formula One now. They bought it a couple of years ago, and soon as that happened, the court thing happened. South Africa become a non-candidate to get it. So
Saudi
just to
Arabia
show you.
owns Formula One. Aramco.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes.
And
Look it up right now, sir. They always have.
My brother.
Formula One is owned by the Saudi Arabian government.
My brother. I've been watching Formula One for
Aramco.
30 years. This is my sport.
Formula One is owned.
This is my sport.
Okay, when you're
Just
look it up. Right
Just
now,
look it up to see
everybody
if
in
it's
the
true.
audience.
Wait, hold on. Let him
Do
finish so I
Google.
can finish what I was saying. Go ahead. Taka, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There is American owned, and the exact reason why is because South Africa took Israel to court. So now South Africa is not even in the running. Nigeria, Rwanda, and Morocco is now in the running to get Formula One. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that's why like, that's my observation. I mean, like I said, this is like my thought process on what's going on. So they're trying to hype this up. So pretty much if this can continue, if South Africa is not careful, they can actually get sanctions placed on them. But I don't think, but I highly doubt we'll get to that level because there's a lot of international companies there, But what I will say is, like, I do agree with V was saying about our leadership. because people need to understand, right? Some of our leaders are very compromised. They're to the point that they have assets in different countries. So even if they try to go the AES route, their assets will be frozen. Some of them are in the Epstein files, not saying the ones currently, but I'll say in Ivory Coast, like one of the nieces of Alison Ouattara allegedly is in the Epstein files. They're in compromised positions. So that's why they can't do certain things like what the AS is doing. Because I don't know if everyone watched IB's interview, which he made it clear. He said that, he talked to some leaders. They said that they wish they could do what he does, and then he said to them, okay, if you wasn't in a compromised position, you should let your people know what happened and ask them for forgiveness so you can proceed forward. But I don't see that, because right now we're in a Cold War situation, which it is a battle for influence. Some countries are going to have influences than others. Some of them are going to be sovereign than others. None of them are just going to be, enslaved to certain entities and stuff too. And that's just the way it is and stuff, So I'm just saying that's just my observation as far as South Africa going. Because I remember a few years back, I don't know if everyone remember when they had that video that came out when the Nigerian dude was getting sold in Libya. That made it on the news. And the whole Africa, came together and they condemned it, whatever. But it's still happening, and not just it's not just Libya. Also, it's also Mauritania. It still goes on in Mauritania. It hasn't stopped over there. Again, we need to just come together. But like Africa was saying, I don't see the whole continent coming together as a whole, like in Kwame Nkrumah's envision. I do see regional blocks. Like you might have ECOWAS here, AS here. The thing that's going on with Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, they about to create their own block, regional block.
Who's that?
So Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, they're going to have.
Yeah, you're right. I saw that.
Yeah, they're going to connect their roads. They're going to have a passport which they all could travel, so they could do regional trade. So that's why I see that going. But like you said, like certain countries just compromise, man. Like look at Kenya, for example, right? When Ruto was told about he needs a facility in Kenya, what did he say? He said it's his obligation to open up a facility. Even though the people that don't want it, he said that's his obligation.
The Ebola facility.
Right. So that's what he said on national television, which should tell you that if he's able to say that publicly, what other countries is in the same compromised positions and stuff,
By the way, I also wanted to say that the reason why you don't see these things on Al Jazeera or some of these other Arab broadcasts to say is because they are being funded by the United Emirates government or the Qatari government. So
Qatar.
Yeah, Qatari, but also the UAE. But that's why you're not seeing it, because they fund those soldiers, those RSF soldiers in Sudan. So you won't see it on their channels.
Exactly. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So
by the way, liberty.
Let me. Can I get like 10 seconds?
Yeah. Sure.
And then I'm gonna pass it off and stuff too. All I'm gonna say is that everyone just be mindful, have an open eye, and just look between the lens, man, on what's going on and stuff too. So that's all I gotta say.
Okay.
There was also a female broadcaster.
Well, let me say who owns Liberty Media. Liberty Media Corporation owns Formula One. They're based in Colorado. They bought it. They bought Formula One.
That's right. That's true.
Okay.
That's true. F1 is America.
Bro, two sports you don't question me about: Formula One and cycling.
But
what year?
Yeah.
What year did they buy it from Saudi Arabia?
I don't remember what year they bought it. Saudi Arabia didn't own it. Ecclestone from England owned it before. Ecclestone from England
Eccleston,
So
yeah,
Saudi
right.
Arabia,
Eccleston, you may know him. You may
Saudi
know him
Arabia
half
didn't own
Africa.
it a
He's
year
from
ago?
England.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Ecclestone owned it. The billionaire Ecclestone
Yeah,
owned it before, and they sold
right.
it to
Dennis,
Americans.
could you ask who if Saudi Arabia
Yeah,
owns
I just looked it up. It's owned by a Liberty American company,
Exactly.
called Liberty
It's
Media
American owned.
Corporation. Yeah.
People, Formula
Tata hit
One
the
is my
nail.
sport. Don't question me about Formula One. That's my sport.
But let's see who owns. Let's see who owns. Well, it's an American owned company, so there it is.
It's American owned.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say that there was like a female broadcaster on one of these Arab channels. That she was from Sudan, and she was basically supporting the genocide of the local people there. Like she was, yeah.
Oh,
she was
who's
supporting.
who's talking? Well, I got to pass the mic. Go ahead, Super African.
Okay, everybody, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Dennis, how you doing as well?
Me.
Great.
Shout
I was
out,
talking.
shout out to Donald Trump for reducing gas price and also giving
Is that
Iran back the
bang?
300. Yeah, giving back Iran
Yeah.
money back.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But why Africans are so are concerned about men in the high castle. Don't take it the way you think I'm saying it, please. But why Africans are so concerned about South Africa's xenophobic compared to what's going on, the genocide in Sudan, right? Okay, that's obviously that is true. Because now it's been like over 2 months now. Africans, the whole world talking about it. But let's look at the people that are hammering this topic, right? Oh, South Africans are so xenophobic in this and right? If you really trace them, they are Nigerians. They are Nigerians, right? Nigerians are a different country because usually, like when you on social media, they speak English as well, right? But the people that are hammering this heavy, right? They usually come from the south of Nigeria, and at the same time, they constantly calling South Africa xenophobic. South Africa love the white man. All your country is owned by the white man. All these type of things, right? Just like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, right? These are the same Nigerians calling Fulani are not Nigerians. Isn't that xenophobic? These are the same Nigerians. When anything happens, I hate to bring up tribes, but to me, this hammering thing about South Africa as xenophobic has been played out too much by Nigerians. And we have to be specific because the north of Nigeria are not on social media. If they're on social
Sounds
media,
like the Igbos.
they usually speak the Hausa language. They do the little thing, right? But the people that are hammering this right here, especially the Nigerians, right? But these are the same people. Anything happen in Nigeria, it don't matter where in Nigeria, they always blame the Fulani. They always say the Fulanis are not Nigerians. So technically, you are xenophobic too. And then when you look at it, they do love the white man. The same way the black South Africans love the white man. The only difference is the white man does not live in Nigeria, but you could tell from these type of Nigerians from their body language, the way they perceive this white man, they see him as super god, like whatever it is, you could tell. But
they even swim the ocean to follow them.
Yeah,
once it's another African, they behave badly toward the same thing, calling them all type of names. How can you call somebody that's been in that land since what, the 14th centuries? They're not Nigerians. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
And some of them only came there yesterday.
Yeah. So obviously you are just xenophobic just like these people. And also, these are the same people. If another Nigerian come to the States to do anything, they will turn you off. They will tell you to get the hell out of my states. I've seen the videos. Of people kicking other people out of Nigeria that's not from that state. I mean, these are Nigerians though. I've seen in Lagos when they destroy other people's buildings, other people's houses, telling people go back to your state. Now imagine that when you spend your hard money.
Lagos.
And it is
The Igbos were kicked out of Lagos because they did not vote for the president. That's true. That's even worse in their own country.
That's why.
Yeah, it's actually true. I agree.
that's why there's hypocrisy of Africans, man. Because you can't tell somebody, oh, you love the white man, blah, blah, and stuff like that. When you love the white man more than this individual, at least they have a reason because they live with the white man next door. But you don't. So imagine that if the role was reversed, right? You'll be 10 times worse. You'll be 10 times worse. 10 times worse. So to me, it's just Africans being phony. That's all it is. Because Africans don't want to face the truth. Don't want to face their own, their own demons. Because they always want to attach themselves to like people that that think they better than, or something that they perceive that, oh, it's the white man, the white man is better. The white man. If you believe the white man is better, then you can't blame Black South Africans being xenophobic.
No.
Cannot. I'm sorry, you cannot. You cannot. But we're gonna bring it back to in Sudan, right? People keep saying, oh, it's the Arabs, it's the the Qatar, the Saudis and stuff like that, right? Look, what Donald Trump was in the G7. What countries was in the G7? United States, which is the king of the G7. England, France, Germany. I'm probably missing a couple. South Korea, Japan as well. Then you had what? The Emirate as well. So if the Emirate is in the G7, and then the Emirate are the one funding the weapons to the so-called terrorists, where are these people getting the weapons from? From the West. Who gave them these weapons as well? So technically, the West is involved in it, just like how the Arabs are involved in it. But I don't. But to me, people are just trying to just identify the so-called Arabs. No. It's the West giving them direction, because the West has a percent and the Arabs has a percent too. For whatever agenda they're trying to do, the West is the king, and the Arabs are just the little people. Just
but like the West isn't going in there and killing the people. It's the Arabs that get the weapons, because Ukraine also gets weapons, but they don't.
Hold on.
They don't.
That's not. Yeah. No. These Arab nations are nothing without the West. Are nothing without the West.
This guy that's speaking, you don't understand geopolitics.
Understand that. The West tell these
they're
Arab
proxy. They're proxy of the West. They're the proxy of the West.
So please, I don't want people to just say, "Oh, no." It's just what the West do. The West wants to control the world. The West is the hegemony. Nothing wrong with that, but just say the truth. But I'm not gonna come and sit here and say, "Oh, blah blah." But in Libya, right? Let's be fair with with ourselves, right? You have Africans that come from West Africa that are selling the slaves. It's not just the Libyans are the ones that look like Arabs. I've heard stories. People have confirmed with me. You got people from Gambia. You got people from Nigeria that are helping these Arabs to sell these so-called slaves. So we need to look ourselves in the mirror. We have to. There's a lot of us that truly despise us, each other. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. It could be some type of sickness, especially when it comes to travelers. Because in the day, when you live in a country like one of the countries in Africa, you are raised to hate somebody else that don't speak your language.
How long until the next Belfast stabbing happens? Some type of thing like that happens again, where and then a Sudanese, right? And then but now everybody who looks that complexion is a Muslim. The fear.
Like for instance, right? I'm from Sierra Leone. Our president just gave a sentence to a South African, right, for selling, white powder.
125 years, is it?
Guess the year, 130 years, right?
Oh, wow.
So you know
what? A white or black South African?
No, a black lady, black woman.
Hold on.
Okay.
But hold on though. Do you know what our president?
Hey guys, let me read these super chats. Let me read these super chats. Baba Liko 9354, thank you for $5 holla. South Africans are now crying for foreigners to come back. Baba Liko 9354, thank you for $5 holla. Dynasty, when will you do a show on America-Iran war and why Trump surrendered? I got it. Yeah, so the treaty was signed, or the ceasefire, or whatever you want to call it, and then the war was signed. So I haven't really read up on what was agreed to terms, but I just know oil prices are coming down.
Oh yeah, today I bought some. But let me finish my terms so that other people can speak, right? He did that, right? He did that just for a media, whatever it is, right? Because it's the same people that are in power within the last 8 years now, and then drugs within that same country he comes from has been 10 times worse. But then since this South Africa thing is so spread out now, you want to act like you a proper leader. Oh, I gave 130 years. It makes no goddamn sense. It makes no goddamn sense for you to even say, oh, we're just going to give 130 years. When your leadership within that country, drugs has been 10 times worse. So that's why, these African men, these African, ladies as well, they're so-called leaders, are cowards, honestly speaking. They just cowards.
And hypocrites.
That's why
Too.
That's why I support the AES. No matter what you say, you will never turn me away from the AES, because I like people that stand up on what they believe. I like people that see themselves equal as somebody else. So I don't like people that talk a good game, then after that turn around and then betray their own people, like William Ruto. But then at the same time, if William Ruto was a Muslim, oh, they gonna say, oh, he trying to Islamize Kenya. But then when they speak about William Ruto, the biggest puppet, they don't attach it to his religion. I mean, let's be fair now. The last time I checked, it's the Muslims that are fixing Africa, especially West Africans. You understand me, right? So Christian Africans, some of you guys need to check yourself. I'm not a bigot when it comes to religion, but let's be fair. We do have Africans that attach themselves with this religious, a superiority against other religions. So check yourself. William Ruto is a perfect example. Let's be fair now.
West Africa is predominantly Muslim. West Africa is predominantly Muslim. So who do you expect to come and fix the place? West Africa is predominantly Muslim. So if Muslims are fixing it, good. Let them do it. Eh?
Yeah,
so what do you expect?
I mean, to be honest,
Africa. Hold on. 1 second. Africa. Right? Okay. So V, you from Ghana, right? You from Ghana.
Yeah.
So check this out, right? There's a gold mine that's about to run out within a year from now, right? There's a Ghanaian that came out and said, you know what? We shouldn't remove those people from the gold mine. We should just give it back to them, because if we give it back to Ghanaians, the politicians, the government are not responsible the way they're supposed to, because the history, what they said. You understand me, right? So imagine that a country like Ghana, right, cannot even come together and say, you know what? Let's take this gold mine and state own it. I mean, you understand me, right?
Yeah, I do. The people wanted
so much gold in Ghana.
The people wanted to nationalize, but the corrupt politicians don't. The people, the ordinary Ghanaians, want our mines nationalized, but the corrupt politicians, because they're all both sides of the party, they're both making money. They don't.
But V, Ghanaians refer to themselves as the bacon of democracy in Africa.
They're not. Ghana is not that democratic.
No. You guys refer yourself as the bacon.
No, but Ghana and Senegal. Ghana and Senegal are the most democratic.
Listen, it's other people.
That's like Nigeria calling themselves the giant of Africa, but at the same time, they don't want people.
Listen.
All right, I got to read this super chat, and we got to pass the mic. Babaliko 9354, thank you for $10 holla. AES for life, telling them bang, we want AES rule. All right, go ahead, GQ. Unmute yourself. No, GQ, go ahead.
No, I've already spoken.
Okay, go ahead, Vincent.
Hey. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Guys, the issue of xenophobia in South Africa is nothing but a lie, because a lot of stuff are being perpetrated. And I'm speaking like this because I'm South African and from South Africa. Let me tell you the real reason what is happening right now.
Yeah, South African.
Yes, I am. Look, what is happening right now is that South Africans, they're complaining about illegal immigrants, not actually migrants who are also legal. No, we don't have problem with that. In fact, the issue of migration in South Africa is not a new thing. During the time of apartheid, migrants have been coming into South Africa. They've been working in South African gold mines. If you know a story of South Africa, you had the mine workers who came from Lesotho, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia. Look, they've been actually staying in our townships, areas like your Katlehong, Soweto, you know, in the Val, they've been staying with us, even countries such as Malawi. So the issue of migration in South Africa is not a new thing. Even Chinese, they used to work into South African mines as early as 1900s. They used to work here. You know, we've got even Indians who are staying here in South Africa here, who are enslaved. So the issue of South Africa, into the issue of migration in South Africa, is not a new thing. But what's happening right now is that we've got immigrants who are jumping the borders, who are coming from countries such as Zimbabwe. And when we actually expose these things, we're being called xenophobia. Why countries such as Zimbabwe, they don't take responsibility for their own citizens? Why they don't cater for their own citizens? Why they don't create opportunities for their own citizens so that they cannot jump the border? But because you know why? Because countries such as, you know, Zimbabwe, they're led by corrupt regimes such as ZANU-PF. They're all about looting and selling resources to countries such as China and the West. And these leaders, they're living a largesse. They're living, you know, a quality of life. You know, they're owning your Rolls Royces, your private jets. They don't care about their citizens jumping the border and coming to suffer here in South Africa here. That's why you've got a lot of educated Zimbabweans who are selling in the street. But here's the thing. The issue of South Africa is that we as South Africans, we are holding South African politicians into account. We are holding South African government to say that enforce the immigration laws, because each and every country in Africa, I can tell you right now, there are certain industries where foreigners, they're not permitted to operate. Even if you got money, the policy of the country is saying that you're not allowed to operate into certain industries. It's only locals whom actually have been permitted to operate. So South Africa is trying to do into the very same thing. So where is xenophobic there? Where is xenophobic when South Africa is actually complaining about illegal immigrants? Where is xenophobia there? We don't complain about, you know, immigrants who are coming legally through the borders, through the airports. We don't complain about them. We don't have problem with them. The likes of me, I went into school with Zimbabweans, you know, so we don't have problems, you know, with actually migrants. Even if, you know, the African migrants, we don't have problem with them. But we've got problem with guys who are jumping the border. Also, again, if you go into South African CBDs, you know, especially around your Joburg, each and every time, whenever there's a drug dealer who's being arrested, it's always a Nigerian. And that Nigerian is undocumented, is an illegal foreigner. So, you know, why actually, when you complain about these things, when drugs are being brought inside South Africa and by illegal immigrants, suddenly are being accused of xenophobia, you know, that's why actually this
well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Does any South African sell drugs?
But even if they do it, it's in their country, though.
Man, get these illegals out your country, South Africa. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
Yes.
Can you let the dude answer the question?
No, let him answer the question.
Any South Africans sell drugs?
Yes, there are there are South Africans who are also selling drugs, and those South Africans, even we as South Africans, we're exposing them. And those South Africans, they're being arrested as you speak right now. A lot of them, they're languishing in prison.
No, you just said every people that get caught are Nigerians. You say everyone.
He said that the immigrants, every immigrant.
The immigrants.
Can I speak? Yes,
yeah, go ahead.
Majority yes, a lot of guys who are being arrested with drugs, who have been caught with drugs by South African law enforcement agencies are Nigerians, most of them.
So now you said most of them. Another question. My other question is, let me ask my question, because you're on here as a South Africans, and I want to ask a question. The legal immigrants, the one them that's legal, because I've seen videos that people that are legal, right, that have all the papers, some of them are even citizens, including this Ghanaian lady that they came and raided her shop and tore everything. She said she's not leaving, by the way, but because she's legal. So what about these people? Because I've seen South Africans said, we don't care who you are. You're not supposed to be here. Legal or no legal, we don't care about the paperwork. I've seen them say that.
That is not
I've
true.
seen
That is
the
not true.
videos. I've seen the videos. Stop saying it's not
I
true, bro.
could put the video in the back chat if anyone wants
I
to see.
see the videos. Legal. They said they just had a Nigerian guy on the other day. He said he's there legally. He have 20 to 30 South African employees. They said they don't care. Okay, they don't care about his legality. They don't
answer
care.
your question? Wait, can I answer your question? Let me say this to you. Yes, there are those, unfortunate incidences, and we as South Africans, we are saying that actually, look, we're not about attacking people who are illegal into who are legal. We are not actually attacking people who are legal, but yes,
but you are, dude. You are. You're rolling up on everybody.
With that Nigerian guy, the issue was he was doing a business that a local.
Can you just stop interrupting? I want to hear the South African.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Stop interrupting. Let him talk.
Wait, let me answer. Let me answer you, or else you are running a risk of creating confusion, because the reason why this issue of xenophobia is being perpetrated in South Africa, because we've got the mainstream media, the South African mainstream media that is lying. Also, the likes of your Al Jazeera and the BBC, they've been lying. They've been pushing this issue of propaganda against South Africa, pushing an issue of xenophobia. But you've got the likes of Donald Trump. You've got issues that are happening in Europe, in European Union. If you saw even today, there were politicians there at Brussels who were actually saying that actually foreigners must go. Also, at the very same time, we saw what happened even in Northern Ireland. But nobody's saying xenophobia. The whole world is not actually, they're not exposing other countries of xenophobia. It's only South Africa. The issue is that South Africans, they're not against the legal foreigners. And we are saying that the people who are taking, the legal foreigners, they must be arrested. They must be held into account by law enforcement agencies. Because that on its own is a crime. I cannot come here and condone crime. I cannot come here and support crime. That's not even what we as South Africans are saying. But we are saying that, illegal foreigners, those who are undocumented, those who are committing crime, they must be held accountable. And also, again, let me tell you something.
Yeah, but nothing is wrong with that. That's not the problem.
Vincent,
come again?
Nothing is wrong with that. That's not the problem.
Vincent,
can I ask the South African question afterwards?
Yeah, I wanted to ask him.
Illegal immigration is not a problem. Are you hearing yourself? Illegal immigration is not a problem.
But Vincent,
even if you give all the explanation, they won't listen to you. They have their own mindset and they want to cling to
Man,
it.
shut the fuck up, bro. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
Hey, we're not. Taraka. See, now, hold on, Taraka. Now, it was your suggestion that if people cuss, that they got to pay a tariff, and you on there cussing.
Hasta luego. Bye.
So guys, let's calm down. All right, go ahead.
Mr. Vincent, I have a quick question, sir.
Yes.
In the next 10 days, sir, it will be June 29th. However, June 30th will be the ultimatum day. What do you think may occur visually, if you could describe what will occur if undocumented immigrants are out there?
Okay, here's what was going to happen in South Africa. On that day, there's no violence. That's not going to happen. Again, it's a propaganda that's been perpetrated by the South African mainstream media, including the foreign media. But we also know that Israel has got a hand in it, because we know that
I said that earlier.
But here's the thing. What is going to happen on that day is that there are going to be peaceful marches that are going to happen from local to district to South African provinces. There's no violence that's going to happen on that day. It's going to be peaceful marches. If you have been seeing groups such as your March on March, they've been actually, emphasizing peaceful marches about the issue of porous borders and illegal immigration and crimes that is being committed by illegal immigrants. There's no violence that's going to happen here.
Vincent, I got a question for you, brother.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the report that came that said that most of the South African artists has been getting their gigs canceled because of what's going on with the in South Africa? What are your thoughts on that?
My thought is that actually I welcome the cancelling of gigs, by African. I actually welcome that decision, whereby South African artists must be boycotted. The reason I'm saying so, why South African artists must be boycotted, is because South African artists, they're very vocal. They know that there's a lie that's been perpetuated, about South Africa with the so-called xenophobia. They need to come out. They need to speak. They need to educate the world. They need to, tell the misinformation. If you go back during the days of apartheid, South African musicians, they used to be all over around the world. They used to be in exile. They used to make songs about apartheid. They used to inform people. They used to educate people. Therefore, South African artists right now, they've got the duty and responsibility of not only making nice songs and making people to sing and dance, but they must also write songs that tell the true story. They must also make interviews, where actually they tell the truth. The likes of Tyler, they are quiet. I'm saying that actually, I welcome the decision of her music being boycotted so that she can able to be so that she can able to tell a correct information and begin to be a South African ambassador. Because these artists are very quiet, they're all about money making, but also at the very same time, it's very unfortunate that they're being boycotted over in a sheer propaganda. What's happening in South Africa is not xenophobia. There's no violence that is being happening here. There are no people who are being killed. There are no people who are being
Nobody got killed? Really?
No, no people are being killed. Unless you show me information. I'm here in South Africa.
Man, bro, stop it, man. Stop it, man. Stop trying to persuade us, man. Stop it, man. Nah,
bro.
Vincent, hold on. Let me ask Vincent one more question. Right?
Yes.
I forgot the guy's name. The guy that's Zulu. The one that sung with the P. The one that sung, I think, with a P. I don't know how to pronounce his name and stuff, right?
Yes, Pagela.
But this So
Pagela.
he was on video that actually went to somebody, and he literally smacked him in the face, and then another one he whipped a couple people.
So that is killing? Is that killing
No,
someone?
I didn't listen. I didn't say that was killing someone. But what I'm saying that certain actions can also trigger certain things.
Bro, there have been people killed. There have been people killed.
Where is this energy when babies are being kidnapped in Nigeria? Where's this energy?
Wait, hold on.
Where is this energy when toddlers are being kidnapped in Nigeria? 50 kids got kidnapped in Nigeria.
That's not what we're talking about. That's a different story. That's a different story.
I'm asking a question towards Vincent. So what I'm saying is that, right? Like I said, no one's not disagreeing that you guys have a right to march. No one's not disagreeing that people who selling drugs need to get out the country. Because I agree with you 1,000. If they're sitting there causing destruction, they need to get the hell out and stuff too. But what I'm saying is that when you have certain people that have certain actions like that, like, okay, he might not kill that person and stuff too, but it might escalate to a situation that they might take it a step further than that. You understand what I'm saying?
Please do. So you have villages that are being killed in Sudan, but you're complaining about.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just asking him. I'm just asking him a question.
Is this where we've come from?
Listen,
really?
I'm just asking. Let Vincent answer the question.
Yes,
Vincent. Vincent,
Vincent. Hold on. Let me answer the question. Let me answer the question.
Let me answer.
Okay, I'll go after him.
The people who are taking law into their own hands, they need to be dealt with by the police. That's what we are saying. You are not going to protect those people. Even that guy, he was called out. Where we are saying that now it's no longer about the peaceful march. It's about taking the law into their own hands. And we've been saying that actually there's no South African citizen who has a right to go and ask somebody for their passport or their visa. It's only immigration officers and police officers who are allowed to do so. So even we as South Africans, we've been keeping ourselves in check. We've been holding each other accountable. We as South Africans, yes, we're not perfect, but actually we've been holding each other accountable. We've been even pushing peaceful marches. Even actually last 2 days, there've been peaceful marches. There's no violence. There's nothing. There's no ransacking of stores that are being owned by any of, foreigners. They've been peaceful protests, and
which they're not even supposed to own those businesses.
Boy, you keep interrupting.
Who said so?
Kick them out. South Africa doing a great job. They just need to do some more.
No.
Don't listen to the xenophobia stuff. That's a lie.
My friend,
No, you see,
my brother from South Africa. Let me just.
If you don't take time to educate yourself, you're gonna
Yeah.
run with the misinformation and the mistruth. You know, you
Okay.
must always make a proper
let somebody
information.
speak, man.
Okay. What? So my brother. Listen, look.
Let somebody speak,
I'm
man.
listening.
Yeah, thank you. So look, I understand. Okay, you sound like a reasonable guy. Okay, I'm not gonna come here and attack you because I don't know you. Okay. You know, I have come across different South Africans. You know, their mindsets sound different to yours. So I appreciate the fact that you seem to be a reasonable guy, and you have mentioned that the other side that we haven't heard of, where people are coming out and calling this mob justice out for what they are. Because what we see from the media, from outside, we see mob justice, Afrophobia. And let me just finish, okay? And I would just look, I understand where you're coming from, okay? I understand where some of it is coming from. Some of it, not all of it. What I don't understand is where it is the mob justice, the Afrophobia, and generalization of everybody, whether they're legal or illegal. But every country have the right to protect their border. Every country have the right to protect their borders. Okay, you cannot let criminals coming from all the way from, for example, Nigeria, and other countries coming in there, destroying your livelihood and your neighborhood and the community, and you sit by. I understand that. No, wait, you've spoken. I understand that. Okay. But then but the problem is, my problem is here, tend to have more smoke for the African native than the other people. I mean, we have over 2 million illegal Europeans who are currently in South Africa. This is coming from the UK. It's a statistics, okay? 2 million. And these people there are taking the kind of jobs South Africans should be actually going after, like middle income jobs. Okay, so they have been employed. Let me just finish. They have been employed by their own cousins, European South Africans, employing other Europeans to come and take these jobs, and they're living there. Most of them are illegally living in South Africa. There's no smoke for them. You have millions of Indian. In fact, South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, have the second home to Indian outside India, and a lot of them there are illegal also. There's no smoke for them. Okay, and also, that 1 second. I understand the criminal. Sorry, brother. Sorry. I understand the foreign criminal elements that you're coming in. Okay, like violent gangs, people are selling Class A drugs in the street. Because I've seen it. I know, and I heard a lot of people from Nigeria who've been there, who go into South Africa and destroying your community. I understand, but not all Nigerians are also doing this. Some Nigerians are there as doctors, as nurses, as health workers. So you generalize an entire ethnic, and Ghanaians for that matter, you generalize an entire race or a country, and calling them all drug dealers and criminals, and and expelling them out of your country. You are giving the other people a good example, like what you just mentioned, the guy in the European Parliament, a good example, and to say, look, these Africans are kicking their own Africans out. Okay, so if they can do it to their own, why can't okay? I'm saying. So why can't we do the same thing? So if I'm just saying, right? I'm not saying you're wrong what you're doing. As long as these people are there illegally, I totally understand. You shouldn't be in another man's country illegally. You should find a way to legalize their status. Okay, and that's wrong. And I'm not going to back illegality. I don't do that. And also I condone criminals. Of course, every country have criminals, but having more outside criminals who are hardened criminals in the country, that's even more burden to your prison system, to your justice system, and that's gonna stifle everything that you're trying to work for. But so looking at what is going on in South Africa, generalizing entire ethnic group or a country or people, to satisfy one class, because that's how we look like from the outside. It's quite disappointing.
Mr. Vincent, do you live on a continent still? Do you live in the continent, Mr. Vincent?
Yeah. No, I want
to do we have somebody from South Africa.
Mr. Vincent, Mr. Vincent, you said you live on the continent. All right.
Oh my God! Let him respond, please.
Yes.
Africa don't live on the continent. Of course, you don't live on the continent, bro.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, Vincent. Yeah, I'm waiting for a response. Thank you.
You don't live on the continent, sir.
Vincent, yeah, go
Can I
on.
please answer? Look, I don't
Thank you.
understand where he says I don't even a continent. Where is South Africa? South Africa is an African continent. So I'm an
Ignore him,
African.
ignore
Also
him,
again.
ignore him,
No,
ignore him.
Africa don't live on the
He's talking,
continent. Not you,
he's
sir.
talking about
He
me.
don't
Just
live on
ignore
the
him.
continent.
Man in the high castle, behave yourself, bro.
Because I want to educate him. Let me listen here. My own tribe,
Yeah.
is into they've got also their own country, which is called Lesotho, which is a country in South Africa. We do also have actually the Lesotho speaking people in Lesotho, which is a country inside South Africa. The only border we know is in South Africa, and those guys actually, we get together, we speak to them, we interact with them daily. So there's no hate for foreigners. Also, again, if you check, some of the guys who are also being arrested over issue of drugs is guys from Mexico, where South African intelligence is arresting guys who are manufacturing drugs, who are coming from as far as Mexico and Brazil. If you check the news, you find actually Mexicans and Brazilians being arrested for smuggling drugs into South Africa. So it's not only actually people from Nigeria who are being caught, even guys who are coming from the Atlantic, on the side of the Atlantics, they're also being arrested. So again, let's not come and lie and perpetuate lies. Also, again, when it comes to the Europeans, we also have the European mafias who are here in South Africa here, especially around the issue of around the area of Cape Town. You've got the Russian mafias, your Czechoslovakian mafias, you've got Israeli mafias. Those guys, they're also being arrested, being intercepted, including Chinese. We also have the Shanghai mafias who are also being arrested here. So it's not only the issue of illegal foreign, it's not only African migrants who are being arrested, who are actually committing crime, also being illegal. Even guys who are coming as far as Asia, they're being arrested. The guys who are coming as far as Europe, they're being arrested. So the issue, the hate for African, it's a total lie. Israel is funding this thing. They're funding this thing. They're being behind the sheer propaganda of so-called xenophobia here in South Africa. And also, again, here's the thing: the issue of borders here in South Africa, the issue of borders here in African continent, we need to be honest about it. Back then, even before pre-colonial times, if you're an African, you couldn't just walk wherever you want to walk. You have to ask a permission from a certain kingdom. You have to go to that king and introduce yourself, who you are, from which tribe, which you're coming from which kingdom, which you're coming from, and what's your reason for being here. You'll tell them, no, I'm passing, I'm going to another kingdom, and then they'll actually, permit you to say, okay, you can pass. Even before pre-colonial times, there were actually, you couldn't just pass as you like, as you wish, as you please. You had to ask a permission from one kingdom to another so that you can be recognized. Who are you? What are you doing there? And what's your agenda? So, even today, actually, yes, we understand that, there was a Berlin conference where actually families were divided, tribes were divided, nations were divided. But also, again, let's also be honest to each other and ourselves, about the issue of today. The issue of illegal immigration, it's a problem. And there's no African country or every country in the whole world that will actually accept and be happy for illegal immigrants. We all want people to be documented so that we can know who they are, where they're coming from, and
what about the 2 million illegal whites?
Can I answer the question?
What about the 2 million illegal whites?
You're
lying.
New speaker.
Hey, guys, we got a new caller. We got a new caller. Actually, it's Biafra's turn after Biafra's shot. Go ahead, Biafra.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
All right, so what this guy is saying is absolute nonsense. It's like, you have illegal immigration here in the UK, but you don't see the British. You don't see the English. You don't see the English going around attacking people, punching people up.
They do. And killing them.
Belfast.
You don't see them. You don't
Belfast.
see, they are detaining them. They're being deported back, but you don't see videos of them being attacked.
England is soft.
Would you say sorry?
Ken Starmer is a left-wing radical lunatic. He's killing y'all. Ken Starmer is killing y'all.
Hey, Reverend Green, be quiet. Go ahead, Biafra.
I understand that the English, they are doing certain things, but it's like what the South Africans doing is absolute bullshit. If you look at the Europeans, when the Dutch settlers came there in 1600s, they came there illegally. Most of the land that they took over was simply land that was abandoned by tribal chiefs and kings who were in that land at that particular time. And they saw the Europeans, so they left because they said that the Europeans are coming, they have these weird weapons, because this is the first time they came in contact with the Europeans, so they left. And they came there, took over that land. And so to this day, you see the Dutch now, they control most of the land there in South Africa. The economy there is controlled by by white people there in South Africa. The media there is controlled by white people in South Africa. The mines, everything is all controlled by white people in South Africa. But yeah, they're like illegal immigrants of the problem. You have one South African.
Absolutely, absolutely, they're the problem.
Can I answer you? Wait. Can I answer you?
You have
wait.
Yeah, but
Can I answer you?
Just let me finish my
Wait.
point. No, let me let you finish. There's one guy of the Dudula. He's a leader. He's an idiot. He thinks that the South African government can give every single citizen 1 million rand.
My brother, right now, let me challenge you. Here's the thing. You think that South Africans, they don't take all those things into account? Of course, we're taking those things into account. Hence, we're speaking about the issue of restoration of land. There was a policy of bringing land back to South Africa to be owned by South Africans. Even the issue of mines and the minerals. You know, we've also been pushing for the issue of nationalization. Even during the days of apartheid, when South Africa was still actually being ruled by actually the Dutch. You know, there was also, you know, the issue of nationalization being pushed. If you look into how South Africa was developed from 1946 up until 1994, it was ruled with a stroke of a pen, meaning that, you know, the apartheid regime, they could actually say this land is
Orlando, you don't need permission from white people to take over something that belongs to you.
Wait. If you look at companies such as Sasol,
they're trying to guilt trip you, sir.
How they were able to develop, it was through actually the nationalization. But what happened is that actually the party of Mandela, they started actually taking South Africa back to the globalists. The guys who are pushing the globalist agenda. With the issue of the globalist agenda, it's also about the illegal immigration across the whole world. So it was the party of Mandela, and it's unfortunate it had to be black people, because the guys in apartheid, yes, they did horrible things. We know they committed atrocities. The issue of apartheid in South Africa is known worldwide. But when it comes to developing, when it comes to champion development, the issue of the microeconomics, they did very well, more than the party of Mandela. So even right now, South Africans, they're actually talking about the issue of actually, you know, South Africans owning, you know, big South African territories under the kingdoms, whether it's the Zulu kingdom or the Bapedi kingdom, the Botswana kingdom, you know, the Botswana kingdoms. We are talking about those issues. So, you know, but right now, we cannot actually excuse all those issues, you know, because of the issue of the illegal immigration. Suddenly, we are bad people. But countries such as Nigeria, they're implementing the same policies, which is about regulation which is about regulating the immigrants, your gun and stuff. It seems like these countries, they're actually hypocrites. And what I like about the government of Rwanda, because the foreign minister of Rwanda is here in South Africa, you know, he said that actually countries need to stop blaming South Africa. It's only Rwanda that is honest, because Paul Kagame, you know, he's actually straight and fair when it comes to the issue of, you know, migration.
Why
it's only Rwanda that is honest.
Paul Kagame is a thief.
Paul Kagame is a big puppet dictator.
He's a thief and a puppet.
He's a traitor.
Okay, so if we're interjecting, I'm going to interject and take my turn.
Hold on. Okay, Vincent, I got to pass to my bathroom. You got 45 seconds. I pass it to Shaw.
I just want to finish on one more. I just want to say the leader of the Dudula, I don't know what his name is, but he said that the South African government can give every single South African citizen 1 million rand. And he's an idiot, because he said that the South African economy is in the trillions. It's not. If he does that, the South African government does that, they'll collapse the economy. And you can't just print the money, because you'll just make it even worse. You end up like Zimbabwe. All right, so this guy, he's the leader, he's an idiot. Actually, like this group and what these guys are doing is absolute bullshit. And the way South Africans are going about is absolutely ridiculous. All right, I finished my point there.
Okay, thank you for letting me, brother.
It's Sean's turn. Let me read this super chat first. Babaliko 9354. Thank you for $5. Vincent, I'm talking. Vincent, I'm talking. You don't talk over the host.
Vincent, shut up.
Yeah, I'm counting the money. Vincent, quiet. All right, but Babaliko 9354. Thank you for the $5 holla. Yes, South Africans is running out what legal migrants too. That's a fact. All right, go ahead, Shaw.
All right, thank you, brother Vincent. I know this is very emotionally charged, and you're trying to educate us, explain to us from the place there where it's happening. So I understand that, but you got to pay attention to, you know, what's being said. Greetings to everybody, Danish greetings. My questions have been, is at one point, and you did kind of touch on it, the brother who just finished talking and you responded, touched on it, but I'm wondering, at what point did South Africans, or did they ever plan on taking the wealth, and I know there's a land reform act right now, but taking the wealth and redistributing the wealth, which does mean, and this is easier said than done, because that means it's going to be not easy. It's going to be a very disruptive thing. It's going to lead to like what's happening right now, the way that the
Objection.
South Africans are.
Objection.
Okay,
That's
that's
a loaded
fine. Can
question.
you
Mr.
can I?
Vincent, you don't
All
have to
right,
answer that.
Castle,
Go high. Go get high in your castle, bro. Come on now.
guys, go ahead, Shaw. Guys, don't
All right,
interrupt.
so let me get this question out. So basically, what I'm asking is, at what point did you ever plan on taking your wealth back? And if you did plan on it, at what point did you come to a resolve that you're not going to do it because of whatever, because it was going to be too bloody, too much sacrifice to take it back? So that's my question about that, and that's it, really.
Yo, thank
No
you very
comment,
much.
sir.
Thank
Next
you very much.
question.
You're
Can
asking a very
I
important
ask
That's
a
to the
question?
Vincent. That question is to Vincent.
That's the
Can
Vincent.
you
Go
please
ahead,
answer
Vincent.
the question? Can you please answer the question? Thank you very much for asking that question. Here's the thing. If you go back before apartheid, when apartheid was about to end, when apartheid it was about to end here in South Africa, there were negotiations, there were discussions. It was the party of Nelson Mandela as well as the regime that used to lead apartheid, as well as other homeland regimes, including the South African business. They sat on one table, which was called the Sunset Clause, whereby a Sunset Clause policy was adopted. Because South Africa, in 1993, it could have gone into a civil war. It could have went into a civil war. And also at that time, South Africa, it was a nuclear state. South Africa had nuclear weapons. Even though right now we're still having, into uranium, whereby we can still actually produce those nuclear weapons, but we can't, because Nelson Mandela said that, South Africa, it must be a non-nuclear weapon state. But here's the thing, to answer the question, Nelson Mandela said that we cannot actually take arms to actually retain wealth. Let it happen in an issue, or let it happen over a discussion sitting on a table. So dismantling of apartheid, it was a successful over the issue of it was successful, whereby it was ended through discussions. But here's the thing: the president who came after him, Thabo Mbeki, he was the one who should have actually infected the issue of retaining of the land to actually make a land reform as well as economic reform, also bringing back the mines back into the hands of the state. But he failed to do so. He's the one actually who pushed the issue of neoliberalism, whereby he allowed actually the foreign interest from the West to come and actually own stuff here in South Africa, to actually privatize the state assets. Unfortunately, they were actually built by the apartheid. So the president who came after Mr. Mandela is the one who failed. He's the one who pushed the neoliberal policies that actually took us to the globalist. But the president who came after Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma, he wanted to push the very same reforms that Mr. Mandela wanted to push, to actually bring, to return the land back to the natives. But he was taken out of power because the likes of CIA and the likes of CIA or MI6 colluded. They actually took him out of power. It was a coup that happened, and then after Jacob Zuma, then came the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, which this guy actually, he's a neoliberalist. He's no different than your William Ruto. They're in Kenya there. He's a neoliberalist. This guy, he believes in sending South Africa, to the capital. So that's why right now South Africans, they are very angry with him right now. South Africans are saying that it's high time again we start actually revisiting this issue. So
Isn't that a more pressing issue than than immigrants? I mean, because if you guys were about the same type of fervor and you had the direction, intent to either put the right person in office or just revolution, take your shit back and make this the state owns the mines and the state owns all of these major industries. And just that's what y'all should be fighting about, because if you do that, then it will bring wealth back to the people, and you don't have to worry about. You probably will need immigrants then, because you can.
Mr. Vincent, I have to say something. I know you said you live in Africa, but you need to hear this, sir. These guys don't live on the continent.
So what does that have to do with the point that we're making?
Let me say something real quick, right? Let me say something. I've been quiet for too long. Yeah, please. Just give me 30 seconds. You know what Vincent is doing, right? He's very slick. You know, when this started about 2 months ago, right? We seen, you know, you can't fool people now because everybody have smartphone, social media. And no, hold on. We see videos.
You see, Mr. Vincent, what I'm talking about?
Oh man, come on.
Yo, Castle, shut up, bro. Dang.
We seen a bunch of videos, right? You know, the way our sons, South Africans behave, right? For like over a month and a half. Until finally, like what, last week, the president finally, said something. So and so, these people, they will not speak.
You guys don't care about slavery. There's kids out there in Sudan being enslaved all throughout the Gambia, all throughout Algeria, all throughout Libya, and you're whining about what South Africa is doing. They're doing the right thing.
If I could ask a question real quick, oh man, Dinus, why are you doing this, Dinus? Goodness, Lord forgive me. No, I'm not going to ask that question. Let me read the super chat first. Yes,
Dennis, can I also
running out.
ask a question?
Yes, let me. Babaliko 9354. Thank you for $5 holla. Yes, South Africans is running out what legal immigrants too. That's a fact. I already read that. My bad. Oh no, here's another one. Cameron Breezy Goat 903. Thank you for $1.09 holla. Vincent, you an idiot. The West will always hold you. Okay. All right, go ahead,
Dennis. Yeah.
Let me finish
It's just 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Let him finish. Let Bang finish.
Let me finish. Yeah, I mean, the reason why the president came out and try to pretend as if he wasn't aware of what South Africa was doing for over clearly a month and a half, right? It's because of Nigerian President Tinubu, the action that he took, and also, and then also, if I can recall, the gold mine that are in Ghana, right? Which is next year is gonna get like the lease is gonna run out, right? So the bosses, the elites that control South Africans, right? They got aware of that. So then that's why they told the president to come out and say something. That's why. But,
thank you very much.
But Vincent, please don't come up here and tell us that we didn't see the videos, that the videos did not show us the way certain South Africans was behaving. Please don't do that, man. Please. Your president came out to say something because of what the Nigerian president was.
I've never.
Y'all got 10 more days out there, and time is up. I'm going to speak. If I was a South African youth out there, if I was born on the continent, which I'm not, I'm telling you, if I was in South Africa right now as a young youth, I'd push you all out.
Okay.
I also want to say that Nigeria.
Man in the high castle, worry about the immigrants in your country, bro.
Right. Remember the white folks.
You want to come for me?
Remember the white folks own the
tell
media,
you exactly
and the
what's
white
going
folks
on
will
with them.
put out there what they want us to see. You
we
guys
got ice
remember that.
hotline, tip lines, and we get money.
Content
Yeah, come for me.
intent.
Come for me. High castle.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
I mean,
we're not. Let's
you see,
not.
I know Dennis was going to stop. I know Dennis was going to say that. I was waiting for that. Dennis know the deal.
I got a question, Vincent. I got a question, right?
Damn.
Can you answer me this?
Yes,
I mean, tell me if it's true or not. But some information that I looked online that said about 65 million inhabitants in South Africa, right? Out the 65 million people, there's 29 million people on government assistance. Don't you think that if you have a population that's on government assistance at that large, wouldn't that create like a burden? And seeing the things that you're seeing right now, that people are fighting over?
Get these immigrants out the country, sir, and you're going to have no burden.
Shut up. You can't do shit. Man. You can't do nothing.
Come on.
Y'all on government assistance, eating off of South Africa and everywhere else. We don't want y'all around.
I just want to say that Nigerians are banned in multiple countries. Nigerians are banned in the UAE. Nigerians are banned in America. Nigerians are banned in Thailand. Nigerians are banned.
There's about 1 million Nigerians in America, man. Shut up. Shut up.
No, but
Wait,
Shut up,
wait,
bro.
let,
There's over
hold
a million
on, wait,
Nigerians in
wait, wait,
America.
yo,
Yeah.
let
See how
Vincent,
they
let,
flee?
Dummy.
They don't live
listen,
at home. They're not
listen,
proud of
let
home.
Vincent answer the question. Brother
Come
Vincent,
on,
can you go,
please.
Let me
please?
answer.
One mic,
Let
guys.
me answer.
One mic.
Let me answer. Yes,
Y'all
the
work for
information that you
CNN.
got.
I can
You,
tell.
man, yo, High Castle,
The
man, chill,
Communist
Let me
man.
News
answer.
Just
Network.
chill.
Let,
Chill.
no, let me
Yo,
answer.
That
causing
is this many
confusion,
nice
man.
castle is starving,
Yo,
man.
just chill. Let Vincent answer the
Let me
question.
answer. Yes, the information that you got about 28 million South Africans living on a state grant or being on a welfare system, it is true and it is correct. Your information is accurate. And you know, that's the thing. The neoliberals, they've been pushing this agenda of trying to push out majority of South Africans to remain unemployed, to try to replace them with illegal foreigners. Why it is so? Because it benefits them, you know, in terms of cheap labor. Because one of the issues of illegal immigration is because of cheap labor. You have to understand that these elites, you know, they want to actually perpetuate the very same slavery, because we know that in 1652 South Africa was colonized by the Dutch East India Company, which was owned by the Rothschild, and then the Dutch East India Company was overthrown by the British East India Company. We know the history, it is there. So right now they're trying to perpetuate the very same history where they want to push out South Africans to remain unemployed. So what you see in South Africa, it is not a hate, you know, for, you know, it's not a hate for African people. You know,
That's
it's a
love,
revolution.
sir.
It's an anger. If you don't understand, if you're
Why
myopic,
is the UAE not xenophobic?
because you are myopic, and now that's why you refuse to listen. You refuse to allow yourself to be educated. You wanna come here and insult. You know,
You
now,
definitely can't educate nobody, bro.
Just listen. Don't
You don't
insult.
live
And be
on the
myopic.
continent, sir. You
Man,
fled.
shit, I live right here with you, bro.
No,
Yo,
Mr.
can
Mr. Vincent
yo,
lives on the
yo,
continent, but you don't.
Don't be
let
myopic.
Vincent answer
Don't
the
be now.
question. Let him finish. I
Open your
want to
heart
hear
to
his
learn.
perspective. Let Vincent answer the question about the
Yes.
government assistance thing. Go ahead.
Yes. Right now, in the part of Mandela, it came with actually putting people on a welfare system, and people are saying that they don't want to live on a welfare system. All they want to see is actually, in fact, that money being taken to stimulate the economy, not people to actually, you know, earn in a grant and be on a social welfare system. People, they can take care of themselves. They don't need the state, you know, to take care of them, whereby they'll give them free housing, the unemployment grant. They don't want that. People, they can make more than what the state is giving to them. So that is why people, they're pushing over these policies. That them being pushed by the globalists, because the globalists, the right in South Africa, they want to push their agenda. So South Africans, they're rejecting, you know, all these issues. And the likes of Julius Malema, they're part and parcel of the globalists. You know, he may sound as if he's a Pan-Africanist, he's pushing the ideologies of Nkwame Nkrumah, he's pushing all of that. But I can tell you right now, that guy is dangerous. He's part
Yep,
and
he
parcel
pushing
of
Mr. Vincent, can I ask you a question, Mr. Vincent?
he pushes himself as a socialist and a communist, but that guy is very dangerous. I'm saying
Yeah,
to
I agree
our
with that. I agree. He's a dangerous president.
be
Yeah,
wary of him, be careful of him. Don't fall,
he's a
don't
wicked
fall for
guy.
it.
What
Because
part
at
of
the end,
him is dangerous, though? What's
he's
dangerous
a
about Malema?
Did you not
What's
hear?
dangerous about?
No, not Malema, not
No,
Malema.
I didn't hear.
Ramaphosa. I'm talking about Ramaphosa, the current president. He's a dangerous
both
guy.
they're the same.
Oh,
Both
okay.
they're
He
the
was talking
same.
about Julius Malema.
They may look
No,
different.
I
Both
like
of them.
Malema. Malema is a cool guy.
So I want to
No,
hear
Malema.
why Malema is dangerous, Vincent.
He's dangerous. Both of them, they're the same. Whether it's Ramaphosa or Malema, both of them, they're the same. Don't fall for one.
Why is he dangerous?
Yeah, because they're fighting
Bro,
the same
do you
Hey,
want the
they're trying to
government
trick
in
you, sir. Don't
Cape
give them
Town to take
nothing.
over?
people.
Do you want the white-run government to take over? Would that make you happy?
No, it's not about a black or
You're
white
fucked.
government.
Would a white government make you happy? Would you feel comfortable with the white government, the one that want to separate Cape Town from South Africa? You rather those people?
No, of course, those guys are the globalists. Those guys are the
So
globalists.
what type of government do you want? Who do you want? Which
What the
party
heck
do you
is he
want?
talking about? No, but hang on, hold on.
Wait,
Hold
let
on.
me answer.
People are, hang on, hold on. People
Let
who
me
came to the ancestral, hang on. Bunch of people came to the ancestral home, right? And they took over your land and they seized your land and they ruled upon you and almost control your destiny. And they're trying to annex a huge chunk of your land. And your answer to that is because they're globalist? Are you kidding me?
Yes, yes, those are globalists.
Are you actually kidding me?
So would you be comfortable with them annexing your land?
Hold on,
They're
Tahaka,
trying to get
Tahaka, 1 minute.
Trump to help them.
Tahaka, please.
But guys,
Oh, no, hold on. So are you okay? So are you okay? Hold on. So are you saying, for the Black African people, the South African blacks are actually a threat to the African, African human race, and a threat to our sovereignty in our continent by allowing these people to come and seize over your land, take over your ancestral home, because this is a fact. Okay, hold on, and annex a piece,
Africa. Do you see
annex a
what's
huge
going on in
chunk
the
of,
Western Cape with
that's what
all
I'm
these
trying to say.
Jews and people from
A huge
Britain
chunk,
and all that?
chunk of your
You see
land.
what's going on
You
in
have
Zimbabwe?
And Tahaka,
you have
I can
no, hold
attest to
on,
that because
guys,
I've been in Cape
stop
Town.
interrupting. 1 second, 1 second. Okay, you have a huge chunk of your land being advocated by a foreigner who actually is a British national, who you still haven't find a way to remove him from your country and revoke his passport. If there's any urgency to your problem, that's there. Number one is to make sure your country remain intact. Okay,
Of course.
Yeah, but
your
he explained
answer to that is because
Mandela what happened
because of
though.
globalism.
They were on about
He explained
the shops.
he
So are you
explained through
actually?
the
Because
political
So
system.
have we
guys,
just ignored
sorry, I've
the
been quiet for
genocide
a
in
while. I've been
Sudan
quiet.
now?
I've been
So we
quiet for
have
a while.
ignored the genocide
We
in
address
Sudan?
issue one by one. The people who committing genocide in Sudan are black people who claim to be Arabs
For the
killing other
past
black
1
people.
hour, we've been
Let's
talking
just be
about South
quiet.
Africa.
Let's
For the
just be
past
quiet.
1 hour.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. It's a different issue. It is Sudan is black killing blacks. You just be quiet. I'm talking about different things. So basically here, right? You are basically
So
telling
black
me
killing black is okay. We just
no, it's
ignore it.
not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's
So what
not.
are
We're
you
talking
talking
about
about?
sovereign. We are talking about a total sovereignty of a huge chunk of the continent being annexed
No,
by
that's not what we are talking. We are
outsiders.
talking about, are we ignoring what is
Are
happening in
you? Are you?
Sudan
Are
and
you? Just
focusing on South
can you
Yes,
just
Africa?
we're
mute? Can you just
ignoring it.
Did
mute?
you read
We're
the
ignoring it
title?
right now. We're ignoring
No.
Right
it.
Can you mute
now,
yourself?
We're
yes.
ignoring
Can
it.
you mute yourself?
Right
Mute
now,
yourself.
yes.
Mute yourself. Thank you.
One thing at a
Mute
time.
yourself. It's a distractor.
So
This is one of the problems.
you see
We
how
are
So
we are
ignoring
Vincent,
it.
hypocrites.
Yeah,
That's
we're
why
Vincent,
ignoring
can
Genocide
you
it.
and
address that,
continent will
please?
never work because of
Let's
people
not
like
We're
you
ignore it.
guys.
No.
ignoring
Or
Sudan
can you
for
just
now.
give
We're
me? Can you just
ignoring
mute?
it.
No,
Yes,
You
let's not
got it.
thank
ignore
you.
Sudan.
So
No, let's
Vincent,
not
can you
ignore
address
Sudan.
that?
No,
Address
Let's
that,
not
Vincent,
please.
ignore
don't
it.
Thank you.
explain yourself. Don't
Can you
explain. They will never
allow
listen.
him to
Don't
speak,
explain
please,
yourself.
though? Or
No,
whoever
let's
that
not
is.
ignore Sudan issue. Let's not ignore it. Look,
Vincent,
let me say this.
don't explain
Yes.
yourself. They won't
Shut the hell
listen.
up,
Diners,
bro.
can you mute?
That's what it's
Diners,
here
can
for.
you mute
Shut up. Mute
yourself?
his mic.
Diners,
Mute his
Can you
mic.
mute GQ?
Listen, y'all gotta let
GQ, can you
Vincent
mute
talk,
GQ
man. He
for us,
can't
please?
even get a word off,
Mute it. A
man.
matter of
But
fact, contribute some money to the show. Have you ever contributed any money to the show?
All the time.
I've never seen you
never.
contribute a damn dime.
All right, so let
Well,
Vincent talk. Let Vincent answer the question. Vincent, go
well, he
ahead.
did answer it in a way. He already answered it because I asked him similar
Yes.
question about
Let me finish.
what was
No,
going on. He
let me
said this
finish
is
something.
the turn of
Vincent,
events
don't
with
bother
regards to
explaining
Mandela.
yourself. South Africa is your
Yes.
country and you can do whatever you want. Don't explain
No, let me
yourself.
finish. No, let me
Oh
finish. Here's the
Lord.
thing. The
Vincent,
issue of
can I ask
extinction.
a question?
Yo, come
Okay.
on. This dude can't even. All right,
Yeah,
go ahead, man.
Let me
Let him answer
I
the
conclude.
just
question.
Let
That's
me
like
all I'm
conclude.
saying.
for me, I don't
Let me
understand
conclude.
like why for example, the UAE is not xenophobic and they have put a ban on Nigerians, but why is South Africa, in your opinion,
Exactly.
why is
Yes.
South Africa xenophobic and Thailand, for example, Bali, for example, is not xenophobic, but they also put a ban on
But
Nigerians?
we're talking about the money because if they had jobs in South Africa, this wouldn't even be an issue. If they
But
had their wealth,
the UAE
And
he's
if you
talking.
had
is
No,
jobs
richer
no,
than
no.
in
the
He's
Nigeria,
UAE
you
talking
is
will
richer
run
about
than
why
South
away.
they
Africa.
don't
If you
control the
had jobs
wealth
in
in
Nigeria,
South
you will
Africa.
run away.
He's talking
So,
about why they
Nigeria
don't
Kaduna
control the
get
wealth in
where?
South Africa because if they had
it's a
control of
different
wealth,
no question.
you wouldn't have all those people
The,
unemployed and you wouldn't have issues with
go
immigrants.
read up on the history of South Africa if you want to
Right,
find
but
that out.
we've been talking about it already before you got here. And he's already explained part of that and now he's trying to answer, but people keep talking and shit.
But
Y'all jumping in.
my question is very simple. Like, why did the UAE ban Nigerians, but South Africa, for
That
example,
ban
is
is
xenophobic?
lifted, dude. That ban is lifted.
That bad is not lifted. There's still
You
a
know,
ban.
So now it's lifted, so they're no longer bad.
I would support South Africa to ban Nigerians if they want to do that. That's fine. If they want to place a total ban on Nigerians, do you know what? I will not be here even talking
I
about
think
it.
that,
But
to tell the
my
truth,
problem
Africa,
is,
I think they should all
yeah,
leave. I think
yeah,
all
my,
black foreigners
yeah.
should leave. I
Yeah,
really do.
my problem is the Afrophobia, like going in the streets, targeting people out there, school, going to hospitals. You know, like what you're doing, like the team, what you're doing, like even it's like going back to the Second World War, like what the Nazis used to do to other people, and you're doing that to your own black.
You're
No,
speaking
honestly,
wrong.
just let me finish, right? It's like what the Nazis did, you know, to the Jew before the Second World War. You go in there and doing the same thing to Nigerians, West African people, and
That's
even their
wrong.
neighbors.
That's
Not
wrong.
And they
only
just and you
Nigerians,
and
but
you yeah,
Zimbabweans, everybody. We're talking
Zimbabwe,
If
about.
all the
every
immigrants
other
left, would it make
nationality.
things better? If
Can I
all the
ask a
Yeah.
question?
immigrants
Can I
So
ask
left,
a
would it
question?
so
make things better for South
Can I
Africans?
ask a question,
No.
so
please?
I
No,
think
it
they should
wouldn't.
all
no,
leave. I
Yeah.
really think they
so
should all leave.
I don't disagree, but would it
but
make it
and
better for South Africans?
It doesn't
Vincent?
matter.
you
Let
should
them
ask
deal
It
with
doesn't
it.
matter.
ask
It's
them
their
Right.
country.
Let them
Exactly.
deal with it. Let
And
them deal with it for
then
real.
they'll have to
They
deal
should
with
leave.
the real
guys,
problem, which is
one
their
mic.
is the wealth of the white folks got all the wealth.
Exactly. Let them
One,
leave. They should
exactly.
leave.
Do you know what?
No,
Do you know what? If
no,
you
It would probably
if you
be
need our
worse.
help, listen. If you need our help in West Africa or in the other part of Africa to regain your ancestral home, like what you did, like what happened in
No,
one second.
no,
How they
Africa,
they're
Africa.
gonna
No,
Africa? That's not gonna happen.
no,
They
no.
made it clear. They
Let
made
them
it clear
leave. They're the
of
ones
what
to
they
leave.
want.
They should leave. Matter of
They
fact, the
made it
South
clear.
African government should force every black immigrant out, legal
Yeah,
and illegal.
no,
yeah.
not
I
The
think
government
it's
should
about
force.
time. I
The
think
So
yeah. I
government should
think you're
force
right.
them
Nigeria,
out.
Nigeria has
no.
all the wealth. What are they doing in
You
Europe?
see,
Dying in the rivers and in the ocean just to go to Europe. But yet you own your land. You own all the wealth in
Bro,
Nigeria.
man.
You
you're not
leave.
logical. You're not
What is
speaking.
20
You have
million
no
white
logic.
people doing in
There's no
Africa,
logic in what you're
idiot?
saying, bro.
What is 20 million white people doing in Africa? What are they
Oh,
doing
so
there?
now you're
You
following them? You following
What
them?
is
so
20 million
hold
white
on.
people doing in Africa?
So hold on. So, but that dude who just made that comment, is he aware that there's 300,000 South Africans in the UK? Is he aware
White
of that?
South Africans, the white South Africans that you hate, they went back.
Yes, correct.
I'm
They
black.
ran away
I'm
because
black. I'm
they,
black.
they,
I'm black.
And black
Bro,
I'm
too.
black.
bro,
I'm
they
black.
ran away.
listen to me. I
I'm
was
black.
down by the South African match today, and I was supporting South Africa here in Atlanta. They played, they draw 1-1, right?
Thank
I
you.
was supporting South
Thank you.
Africa. But you should have
Thank you
seen the
very much.
amount of white South African there. It was just a few sprinkles of black South Africans, right?
Yes.
All the rest was white.
Yes,
Wow.
they ran away. They ran away when Mandela took over the power. They thought that they're gonna be punished. That was the theory. But a lot of South Africans still remain there. They still continue to be patriotic. Yes, we know we've got issues of racism and stuff, but it's all about the human race. It's not about actually because this thing of a race is a concept.
What? Human race? Now you're talking human race?
What? Yes,
You're talking
yes.
human race now after what you guys did? Are you
No,
serious?
race is a
What
concept,
human
just
race?
like a tribe. It's not about
And
human
after what
race.
they did
It's
to
a
them,
concept. No,
Anyway, I'm
I'm not
gonna leave
talking.
you guys, man. I got
You're
a headache from
talking
this.
human race after you guys
Yes.
throwing people out? Are you serious?
Thank you, Diane. Thank you,
What
everyone.
is it being done in
Daka,
Nigeria?
Bang.
Babies being kidnapped. That's
All right,
not an
brother.
issue to you?
all right,
Yeah,
brother.
man. Love to everyone. Yeah. Bless.
Yeah.
Even to you, the South African brother. I still got love for you.
Yeah,
But
you too, man.
start
Africa,
loving
Africa,
yourself.
man.
Yeah,
Start
I
loving
mean
yourself,
Africa,
that
man.
Africa. You don't
Yeah.
have
that
to
sounds
make
good.
Yeah, Africa, Africa, man. Take
super
care.
announcements that you're departing, sir. Just
Yeah, you would never have peace. You would never have peace
we
if you
love you
don't
and we're gonna
own
miss
the
you.
resources, man. That's crazy.
Vincent,
Even the
You
South
may
African
go.
brother.
Vincent, I'm
Yeah.
from the
Even the
same.
South African brother. We want you to love yourself. Yeah. Take care.
Vincent, I'm from the
Yeah.
same country that the white people are from, like the Afrikaners. I'm from the Netherlands. So
Yes.
basically, I know their minds. I know their mindset. I know how they really think. And
Yes.
basically, how they think is like they see you guys as enemies. They don't really like you, but they are forced to basically live with you. And basically,
Yes.
in the Netherlands, they say to us, like to the foreigners, they say that we have to go back to our own country, and they want to make it white. They're even talking about remigration, like they want to send us back. So I don't really understand your mindset when you say like it is not about race. So it's very confusing for me.
Someone answer that, please. Answer that question.
Let me answer
Yo,
you.
can someone mute themselves? They got a loud thing in it. Mute yourself, please.
I think Vincent left.
Yes, let me answer.
Can you mute your
Who's
mic,
watching
please?
Andre TV? Who's watching Andre TV?
I bet you is High Castle.
Yes, let me answer. When I say the issue of human race, I understand that the issue of racism, it was perpetuated from since 1652, and the Zionists, they've been pushing their project. We understand that we've got a lot of guys who are actually very racist. In fact, a lot of white South Africans who are racist are English speaking more than the Afrikaner who are their descendants. It's actually English speaking who are actually most racist, because if you check the history, you always find the Boers, yes, they've also been fighting against black people, but the way where they forged alliances with black people. So it's all about the issue of the human race, because we also understand that religion, it formed this thing called race, because this issue of racism is started actually through a religion, through a church, the Dutch Reformed Church, because here in South Africa, we've got a Dutch Reformed Church that's been here for more than 200 years, that's been perpetuating racism, slavery, as well as apartheid. But outside that, it's all about the human race. Even if you are Christian, Christianity doesn't matter whether you're white or black. It's about actually the human race. It's all about us finding the humanness. Up until we achieve the humanness, we'll keep on hating each other, we'll keep on killing each other and doing all those stuff. And we will forever allow the evil project to come into us as human beings. So when I'm speaking about the issue of human race, it's all about us dealing with these issues all together. That's what I was referring to. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're white or black, you're Chinese.
Can somebody mute their mic, please?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's Super Africa. Super Africa, is that you? Someone's listening to Andre TV. Super Africa, is that you?
Dynas, we got. Can you mute Super Africa's mic, Dynas?
Dynas, you there? Someone's listening to Andre TV. That's my boy, though.
Okay,
all right, there you go. Yeah, go ahead.
Jeez Louise.
Like Vincent, I just want to say that I think it's a beautiful statement what you said, but I think it's very ignorant, because even when, like, ik spreek echt Nederlands, like I really speak Dutch, like I was really born here, so I
speak Dutch or Afrikaans?
No. I speak like, so you have Afrikaans, that's basically the language that they speak over there in South Africa, but I speak Dutch. It's like the language before.
So je praat baie mooi.
Ik spreek Nederlands. Kijk, ik kan Nederlands spreken, ik begrijp Nederlands, ik versta alles. It's like I can I was born here. But
I agree.
Yeah, but how do you say, like they really think very negative of the native South African people. Like I'm really telling you, like Christians, it doesn't matter. Like,
what about blacks in general?
The Dutch people, you mean?
Yeah, how do they feel about blacks in general?
Like
you talking about the Afrikaners you're talking about.
I know he's talking about that. I'm asking him what do the Netherlands people think about blacks in general?
Like not very positive, to be honest. Like we are sort of like a burden to them. They don't really say it out loud. Some of them say it out loud, but they see us as like this sort of, this burden that we are in their country. It's the same as in America. Like you guys live there, but it's like oh, these guys again. So,
so like they tolerate you but don't like
you. Exactly. Right. So it's
that's why don't they all go kick their ass out of Africa, get out of Africa? You see what's going on in Zimbabwe right now? They're giving back the land that they took, that Robert Mugabe took. This is I don't know what to say. This is going the wrong way, y'all.
Hold on. So they paying reparations and giving back the land?
Yes.
Back?
Yep. Yes. Yes.
So what's the point of paying reparations? You're gonna give them the land back?
And then all they went through, all the sanctions, all the hardship that they went through. And then now this just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It make perfect sense.
Mm.
That's why I'm sticking with the AES only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do we
the
spread
issue
it
of
though?
Zimbabwe. Also, again, the issue of Zimbabwe, the reason why they're returning land to the very same white people, it is because Robert Mugabe, he was actually clumsy how he dealt with the issue of land. He was very, very clumsy. He actually used violence. He even killed black people. Do you know there were 20,000 black people who were killed
We heard about that.
during Gogora Wundi War in the 80s? And those actually Zimbabweans, some of them, in fact, many of them, they ran into South African side and became, immigrants here in South Africa. So the issue of illegal immigration, it also started there. Robert Mugabe also killing, his own
But
black
y'all should have been rallying around him. See, the problem is we don't stick together when we're doing stuff like that, and then we're just by ourselves looking like a pariah.
But brother, I don't know what this. I know a lot about Zimbabwe because I was in an organization in New York, right? During that time, during the late 80s, early 90s, right? I was with there. I met Zimbabwean, right? When the veterans and that fought. First of all, Robert Mugabe did not want to take back the land. Did not. Okay. Robert Mugabe was a person that was glorified and loved by American Britain. He was knighted by the Queen of England. He got a special degree from, I think it was Harvard or one of them other schools, just because he did exactly what the white people wanted. Okay. He was loved, and the veterans them that fought the war, right? They started occupying the land. Okay, so they forced him. So you guys got the propaganda story from the BBC and CNN wrong. That's all propaganda. Okay, Robert Mugabe did not, I repeat, did not want to give the land back. He was extremely comfortable in the position that he had with America and with Britain. That's number one.
So
right?
what happened?
The people them that collapsed the Zimbabwe currency was right here in America and Britain along with Australia. They collapsed the currency.
But why did he take the land back though? What happened? You missed that part though. He didn't want to give the land. He didn't want to take the land from the whites.
He did not want, right? To give the land back. He wanted the status quo to remain. Don't forget, Britain promised to pay, right? I forget which Britain government. I don't remember if it was Thatcher, one of them British government, right? They promised to compensate Zimbabwe for the land. They promised them, and it never went through. It was never went through, right? So the veterans that fought in the war, right, decided they're going to start to occupy the land. So they went and started sitting on white people land. I've known people that went. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to take a trip there, but I couldn't afford it at the time in the 90s. But I had people that went there from my organization, right, and documented everything. The Rothschilds owned land. They had people that own land in England, and especially England and Australia, that don't even know how many land they own. That's how much land they own, right? They didn't even know how much land they owned, right? And these people, the veterans, started to occupy the land. So they went and sit on the land, and it was a lot of them. You see what I'm saying? So Mugabe had no choice but to start supporting them. Because now the people them is going against him, so he had no choice, and they flipped around and used Mugabe as a scapegoat. That's what happened.
In fact, he also used the tribalism to kill Ndebele people during the Gogora Wundi War, because tribalism in Zimbabwe is very, very high.
See that's the thing again. the opposition was supported by England and America.
Yes, I know. That's
okay.
True.
And what do you do? What do you do to traitors? That's what the war was about. The war was about the independence. You kill them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this thing about blaming Mugabe for X, Y, and Z is total bullshit. Because like I said in my first thing when I started talking about it, Mugabe was loved by Britain and America because he did exactly what they said. Okay, he was loved by them. He was knighted by the Queen. He got a special scholarship from I think Harvard or Princeton, one of those Ivy League schools.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, and then when it happened, now they absolutely turned on him and used him as a scapegoat.
But also at the very same time, his regime they've also have responsibilities.
He's not. First of all, it's not a regime, bro. It's a government.
Yes,
it's not a regime. It's a government. Stop using the white terms.
But let's also not run away that even himself too, him and his government, they've got responsibilities of having to have inflicted harm.
When? What years? What years?
Around early 2000, the rigging of elections, using soldiers to actually shoot them.
Bullshit.
In fact,
never happened.
Yes, that is true.
Bullshit. You don't understand concept, bro. I just told you. Open up your ears and listen. I just told you. He was loved. He was loved by Britain and America because he did their bidding for him. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't try the scapegoat thing about the people them got behind him. You know, rig election. People got behind him. Right? That other dude that died. The dude that died, the main opposition back then in the 2000 that died. I forgot his name right now. Right? That died. He was directly funded by America and Britain.
I know, but
okay.
But listen, yes, you're saying correct stuff. But also at the same time, you also used rigging. He unleashed the
rig. What people. Rig for what? They didn't have to rig nothing. They would win. They would win.
No,
the people that was with ZANU-PF more than anybody else. I'm telling you, that's propaganda.
No. ZANU-PF in 2008, they lost elections.
They didn't lose nothing. That's British and American propaganda. They didn't lose nothing. They lost nothing, bro. They lost nothing. You don't know nothing. I told you. I know the story. I know the story. I know the story. You don't know. You're getting your shit. You're getting your shit from the media. You don't know. I know people personal in it.
No, I don't.
You don't know.
No, I don't use BBC and your CNN as a source.
Bro, you're getting it from them. You don't know.
No,
you don't know. That is their propaganda. That is their propaganda. That is their propaganda, bro.
No, stop insulting my intelligence. Listen to me, because when you do the talking, I do the listening. Please reciprocate. Let's be humans and be civil with each other as we are adults. I'm saying to you that.
Yeah, but I'm not going to listen if you're wrong, bro. I'm not going to listen if you don't know the story.
But I'm also going to reject, if you're into speaking lies, I'm also going to reject too. What I'm saying to you, even South Africa was involved. South Africa was involved. And it was the government of Thabo Mbeki that actually, certified actually those results. When actually Morgan Changara, his party, MDC, had won elections, Robert Mugabe, in fact, he pushed away and started unleashing the violence. Even during this current president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, they did the very same thing. The issue of Zimbabwe is that we've got a corrupt party, ZANU-PF, which is
so the other party is not corrupt. Is that what you're trying to say? The other party is not corrupt.
They're also corrupt. We know that actually Morgan Tsvangirai, he was sponsored by the West.
Yeah, but Tsvangirai, I just told you, Tsvangirai was supported by America and Britain.
Yes, even his successor was also sponsored by the West.
Right. So what's the problem? What is the problem?
the problem is that even Robert Mugabe has got his own responsibilities that he inflicted harm on Zimbabweans. Let's also not cancel it out as much as
you're trying to say the election was rigged. That is the West propaganda.
No, that's not the West propaganda.
So you're supporting the West now?
No, I'm not supporting the West. I've never supported the West. What do you mean?
So what are you talking about? If who says rigged? They said it's rigged. So you're agreeing with them?
No, I'm not.
You're agreeing with the West.
No, my brother.
You are agreeing. So, but they're the one who says rigged. That means you agree with them.
No, not on Western propaganda. That's the thing.
But bro, you just but they said it was rigged. Didn't they say it was rigged?
Yes, but yes,
they said it was rigged, right?
But I'm not saying
so. But now you're agreeing with them.
I'm not saying according to the. No, I'm not. I'm not saying according to a perspective of Western propaganda. I'm not agreeing because I know the West, they're pushing their own agenda. But here in South Africa, we know it too. Even the South African government, they've got a report. South African government. They've been there through and through the issues that have been transpiring. I'm not speaking based on.
So you're saying more people wanted Tangarai. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what happened.
Right. So more people wanted Tangarai. The West stool pigeon. So the West, the people then that the West got in there, you're saying more people wanted them. Is that what you're saying? The man that was supported by the West. The man that was supported by the West. You're saying that the Zimbabwe people wanted this man.
Yes, they wanted him.
Right. So you don't know shit. You don't know shit. You don't even know how to back up your own argument. If you dislike the West and you're saying they're evil, right? But yet you're saying that the dude that they support, that's what the people wanted. That's what you're saying. The dude that the West support, that's what the people are saying. That's what you're saying.
All the time. It depends all the time. Even here in South Africa, the current president is a puppet of the West, but he was voted into power.
Oh my God!
It depends. It depends.
Who voted him? The South African was rigged too. That was rigged.
Sorry, no, it was not rigged. People went to vote. They voted for the guy, and he happened to be a puppet of the West.
Okay, but it wasn't. That wasn't rigged, though, right?
Yes, no, it was not rigged.
Yeah, so Zimbabwe is rigged, but that wasn't rigged.
No, Zimbabweans actually they voted for.
You see, man, stop while you're ahead, bro. Stop while you're ahead, please.
No,
please.
Zimbabweans voted for Morgan Changarai, but from Gabon side,
no, they did not. He did not get the majority vote, bro. He did not.
Who didn't get majority of the votes?
Tangarai did not get the majority vote. He did not.
He did. He did.
That means you're agreeing with the West then. You see, you're in a conundrum, bro. You're in a conundrum that you can't get out.
No, but you're not. No, but you're not listening to me.
You are agreeing with the West because they said that the election was stolen. The West said so. That means you're agreeing with the West. Hold on a second. Let me ask the other panel. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying.
No, the other panel. Anybody else left on the panel?
Can I please answer to you?
It seemed like nobody else left on the panel.
No, we hear. I understand what you're saying, but at this point, he's just not going to agree, man. I just think we should just proceed forward.
Right. So just move on because he not understand what I'm saying. See, he's caught in a conundrum. All right. That's why I asked him if he prefer the apartheid government, the descendants of the apartheid government, to take back over South Africa. And the reason why I asked that, because I've spoke to some black South African, say yes, they prefer that. They prefer that. Some of them say, oh yeah, we were better under apartheid. This is what some black South African says.
No, let me answer that.
You don't have to answer it. I didn't say you said it. I'm just telling you that some South Africans say it.
Yes, that is true. That is
right. They want the apartheid government back. I think black people in South Africa will be comfortable right back with the apartheid government.
No, you see, you're not listening. You are running a risk of creating confusion. You think
I'm not creating confusion. I'm not creating confusion, but I just ask you a direct question and you hesitate to answer it. Do you want the apartheid government back, the descendant of the apartheid government back? Yes or no? Do you want them back?
No, of course, no. But you see, that's the problem about your questions. You are either creating either or.
It's a straight up question. Do you want them back? Yes or no? And you said no. Although you hesitate to say no, but you said no.
No, but you see, I've got the problem with your questioning. Your line of questioning is a problem because you're creating a black and white question whereby everything.
It is a black and white question. It is a black and white question.
No.
So you don't mind having a white government in your country?
You're creating a confusion. Listen,
bro. If it's a white government that you like, say somebody that you like, and he run for president, would you vote for him?
No, I'm patient with you. Listen, don't create an either or question.
Yeah, either or, because you want the crackers back in your country, bro.
Look, all I'm saying to you is that yes, back then, there was a development. As much as things were horrible, there was a development. There were jobs. There was a livelihood. Things were going on. People, they were affording houses. People they could afford even to own businesses.
Okay, you see, you got your answer, panel. You got your answer. I wish everybody would know. He want the white government back. He want them back.
No,
you want them back, bro. You said it was good. You said apartheid was good. That's what you just said.
Yes, in terms of livelihood.
Exactly. You said apartment. See, you see, I drag it out of you. We know where you stand now.
No. In terms of livelihood,
bro, we know where you stand. Come on now. You want them back.
No, excluding the brutality.
You want them back.
No, my brother.
Okay, you want them back.
No. You see.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask this. Let me ask this one question, right?
No,
he just said you want them back, bro. He want them back.
Vincent,
you trying to box me. No, you see, you're trying to box me.
It's not a box. Let's put it this way. If I don't believe in Jesus, but if Jesus came down here running for president of South Africa, I would say, F you, Jesus. I don't want your cracker ass in South Africa. Get out.
Okay,
I don't care how good you are. You do not get to run an African country.
Vincent, let me ask you a question, right? Yes. What Tahaka is saying, right? Is I don't know if you travel around the world, right?
Yes.
If you travel around the world where other black people live at, whatever, most of the resources is controlled by other group. So what Tahaka is pretty much saying is, unless you control your own resources, no other group is going to look out for you no matter what. They might be nice. They might smile in your face. They might even do some piano dances with you, but that doesn't mean they're gonna look out for you. They're gonna look out for their best interest. Like I went for example, I went to Curacao, right? Majority of black people is in Curacao, but the island is owned by the Dutch. The Dutch controls most of the resources there.
Yep.
Same thing in Jamaica. Non-black people, the Chinese own all the resources.
Chinese own a lot of it.
Yes, in Jamaica, right? Same thing with, I'm not sure about Kenya, but same thing with Namibia. What he just said that 80%, the population, you said 80%? You said the properties is owned by white people?
At least 70 to 80%.
Yeah. So that's what he's saying. It's like, if you don't control those resources, you're never going to come up with whatever. You're always going to be on the bottom no matter what. Even if a few of you guys become successful, you're always going to be on the bottom. So that's what he's saying to you. That's what he's saying to you. Would you rather govern yourselves and control the resources, or would you let another group control the resources?
Of course, we want to govern ourselves. We're not looking for a Messiah complex. We're not looking for somebody who's going to come and save us. And not even into black South Africans, they're not saying they're looking for a Messiah complex for somebody to come and save us. Of course, we know from the history, the one who says he's going to come and save you is lying, is going to exploit you. We're not looking for that. But what we are saying is that back then during apartheid, excluding brutality, there was a development. Unlike right now we've got the black government, there's no actually development. Things have regressed, but you're not saying that we want to return. That's what actually the guy is refusing to listen to me. He's essentially trying to create an
Bro, during apartheid, most South African live in shitholes.
Let me finish.
Okay, they live in shitholes with no running water.
No, listen. Let me
Okay,
finish.
the Nelson Mandela government brought in, although they had a lot of flaws, they brought in a lot of stuff.
Of course, I agree. Of course, I agree with you. But not
Okay, so what are you talking? What are you talking about?
No,
They complain about electricity now, but one of the reasons why the electricity is down for everybody is because more people are added to the grid that there was not added before. Stop. Them crackers did nothing. They did nothing. They did nothing. Black people are more employed today. They have more jobs. They have more companies today. They have more access to business today. Okay? Stop the bullshit about it was more this or more that.
You are lying.
I'm
Wait.
lying.
So Tahaka, are you
Yes.
saying that more
Right
black
now.
people in South Africa have money and jobs? What are you saying?
In South Africa, wait.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Wait. In 2008,
The input of black South Africans in the market space is advanced by millions. What is this guy talking about? The electricity grid, like I spoke before. These people had no electricity. Okay.
In the townships.
The reason why white people are complaining about electricity right now and the grid is because literally millions of people are added to the grid.
Yes,
that's why.
But you're in short of power stations. Do you agree with that? Starting from 2008, we should have built more power stations. So that
You should have. We should have.
Right, but they stole the money.
We should have. But they had no problem with electricity before. Why didn't they have problem with electricity before?
Right, Shaw, exactly.
Zuma stole the money. Let me say, can I say this? Can I interject say this?
Go ahead.
So this is important too, and this is what I like about Julius Malema, is the fact that Zimbabwe got sanctioned and fell on hardship as a result of Mugabe's, taking the land back, even though I guess Tark is saying that he didn't really want to take the land. But so the people, the country's doing bad, so the people are going to flee to the place where the economy's better. So what the regional area, Botswana, Zambia, all of the SADC countries should have been working together to assist Zimbabwe and to help South Africa to take, now this is revolutionary now, help South Africans to take the wealth back from these white folks. They should have band together. And this is what Malema is about. I believe that he's really about it.
No, he's disguising.
Okay, so he's disguising. All right, so he's not about it, but at least we hope that he's about it, and we romanticize that he's about that. He's about a revolution, right? So, okay, but you're saying he's not. Okay, all right, I hear what you're saying. So let me finish.
Yes.
So you see, this interdependency is happening between these countries. You guys have to work together in these regions, at least in the regions, so that you'll be strong and so you don't have these problems with people fleeing from one country to the other, because everybody's country is doing decently, at least decently.
Correct. I agree with you.
And so that's a Pan-Africanist spirit.
Correct. You are right. But the issue is that the likes of Malema, they're actually pretending, because the guy actually is perpetuating the very same slavery. Yes, he's saying right ideologies, he's saying right stuff, but the thing is that he's not the right person to put in place. In fact, I argue this guy, he loves power than actually being implementing humanity. He loves power. This guy, he's all about the power. He's all about taking the man, even from the West, the very same guys that is speaking against, that is calling out against. He's even taking man to the very same guys. So the likes of Julius Malema, they are very dangerous. We must be careful of these guys.
So let me ask you this: would he be a benevolent dictator?
Yes, he will be a dictator.
Okay, would he be a benevolent dictator?
Yes, in fact, this part.
All right.
In fact, this part for the last 10 years.
So Ramaphosa is a democratic president. He's a democracy in a capitalist country, right? He's doing nothing. I see he had those big ass hands. I know he would have crushed the shit out of Trump if he wanted to sit in that White House. but he did. It was a bad optics for him.
Correct.
And then
I
Trump,
agree with you.
right? And then
I
Trump
agree with you.
sends a message to South Africa saying, if you even think about taking the land from the white folks, we coming to ride down on you. I mean, he basically said that in less words. So this is what we're dealing with, and you got to nut up, be a man. Y'all have a history of whooping that ass with them hard sticks and shit y'all got. You guys, you got the warrior spirit. So that's not even an issue. You got the warrior spirit. You need to call on the warrior spirit. You need to get the mind, the philosophers and the thinkers, and put everybody together and take your shit back. Get with Zambia and Botswana and Zimbabwe. Y'all get it together, and they're gonna come. They're coming, right? So be ready for them. That's it.
In fact,
you're gonna have to fight.
Let me add. Yes, let me add on what you are saying, because Ramaphosa, in fact, is the weakest president ever to have actually led South Africa post 1994. He's the weakest leader. This guy is a puppet of the West. He's a puppet of the Zionist. You know, that's what he is. And when it comes to the issue of SADC, yes, we need a regionalization. Just like how the Southeast Asia guys, they were able to do, the likes of Singapore, Malaysia, you know, your Thailand, where they were able to, you know, push actually for regionalization of economic regionalization through the Burma Triangle. We also need that in SADC so that we can able to trade interdependency. Right now, we've got a free trade continental agreement that's been put into place, but we have to find a mechanism of implementing it so that we can able to trade with one another. Because as Africans, look, we're actually trading lesser with each other than we are trading with the rest of the world. Therefore, we as SADC, you know, we have to sit down and actually look as the answers. Let's trade together. Let's work together. Let's actually find a way of actually trading with one another. Just like what the European Union, how it was formed. We as SADC, we have to do so that we can able to deal with the issue of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. We have to work with each other so that we can able to grow as a region. Because if we grow as a region, then we'll have more numbers. Because the more the numbers, the more the power. Therefore, we'll be able to go somewhere. But with the likes of Julius Malema, same as the likes of Cyril Ramaphosa, we are not going anywhere, because these are the guys that are being funded by the very same Zionists. These are the guys who are problem. They can speak the very same things, make good speeches and nice speeches, but there are problems because these guys, they speak left but walk right. You know, the speakers, they actually ridicule the very same West, but in secret, they do business with them. They do business with them, and that is the problem. So we as Africans, we are also calling out the very same corrupt leadership. We're saying that we don't want these guys. We are rejecting them. All of them, they are puppets. Whether that one is speaking for the capitalist, that one is speaking for the socialist and the communist, but at the end, they're actually funded by the very same, you know, people. So we as Africans, we are aware of these guys and we are rejecting them and we are pushing. That's what we are simply doing. We're saying that actually, we're saying that people shall govern, not other way around. People shall govern. That's why South Africans, they're angry and they're aggrieved. We're saying that the people shall govern, just like what the document of 1955, the one that was adopted in Cape Town, that's called the Freedom Charter. It said that the people shall govern. So that's what South Africans are pushing, because when people govern, when people are governing, then you'll be able to see policies that are friendly in terms of humanity. So we are actually calling for that, so that whether you are a South African or you're not a South African, you are from Zimbabwe, Angola, and stuff. But we want this policy to accommodate each and every one, but in a way which is workable. So we are saying that actually we reject these corrupt leaders, but also at the very same time, we want things to be done properly and orderly. So, but also at the very same time, we're also pushing for regionalization. That's what we are pushing, because at the end of the day, we as Black South Africans, we are Africans. We are the natives. In fact, you know, we share relatives, you know, across the borders. There are a lot of South Africans who've got relatives in Zimbabwe. There are a lot of South Africans who've got relatives in Namibia. There are a lot of South Africans who've got relatives in Lesotho, Mozambique, Zambia, because of also the issue of because also what transpired into apartheid, whereby mine workers who came to work here and had kids and families that were established, even though some of them did return to their homelands. But at the very same time, we don't hate anyone. We don't hate anyone. Just that we are against the issue of illegal immigration. Also, at the very same time, we were talking about the issue of the land reform and the economic restoration. That is justice. We were also talking about the humanity. So that's all we are wanting. But us as South Africans, we are being mistaken, we are being understood, the wrong information is being peddled against us. We don't hate anyone. We don't hate anyone. When we speak about wrong stuff that are happening, we are being accused of being a white stooge. We are saying that we are white puppets. We like white people, like all those kind of nonsense. Like even right now, we are rejecting the guy like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a South African. The very same guy who's the first trillionaire. We are rejecting him. We don't like Elon Musk. We hate him. Have you seen stuff that his father that is saying about South Africans, especially black people? And his father is staying here in South Africa, staying in Cape Town. Have you seen stuff that's been saying? Even last week or last 2 weeks, he did an interview with one of the guy from United States of America. He actually exposed the father of Elon Musk for who he is. So, guys, look, people actually must stop actually brandishing us as xenophobic or as a white stooge, because right now we as black South Africans, we are fighting the issue of Trump, where he accused us of genocide. We're being accused of genocide, whereby white people are accusing us of killing them. Right now, it's our fellow Africans who are accusing us of xenophobia. So there's a common denominator here, whereby black South Africans are being hated by the ones who are pushing these right-wing ideologies and the ones that are actually calling us xenophobia. So, everything's against black South Africans right now. And we are speaking based from how we feel, how we experience the hardship and the suffering. Why can't people take into cognizance that black South Africans are suffering? We suffered from colonization, we suffered from apartheid. Even right now, like, we're still suffering.
Yeah, you're suffering because you guys don't control the wealth. You don't control the economics. Another group, right? So you got the politics, but now this is why my teachers used to say you can't only control politics. You got to control the economics too. You got to control your education too.
I agree with you. Thank you very much.
That's why I'm saying the whole goal should be on how to control the economics. That's
Thank you very much.
Only thing y'all should be trying to do.
Yes, I agree with you. You are saying the right stuff, and that's what we as South Africans, we aspire to do so. That's why even when Julius Malema, when we supported him as a young leader, he used to say economic freedom in our lifetime. That's what actually he used to say.
Okay, so you admit that he's got that part right.
Yes, he got it right when he was an up and coming young leader, when he was promising.
So you're saying you think he sold out?
Yes, along the year when he went to London, and came back, he was never the same. Things that he said were completely different. Even though here and there he would speak those things, but you could tell his change. Ever since he went to London and came back, he came as a total different person.
How long ago was that?
I think it was 20. If I'm not mistaken, just around 2012, 2013. I'm mistaken there. In fact, when he came back, he even said something about Mr. Mandela. He's saying that he was a sellout, but he didn't want to say it straight. He used other words. You'll check. There was a press briefing where he said that Mr. Mandela was a sellout. Ever since he went to London and came back, he was never ever the same. So we as South Africans, we aspire for land to come back so that we can own the wealth and the minerals. Same way as the Sudanese. Look at the issue of Sudan. Just like the Sudanese right now. Like what is happening to the Sudanese, because Sudanese are suffering. We too as black South Africans, we're on the very same actually situation, just like Sudanese, how they're suffering, whereby all these Arab countries, your UAE, they're looting, the West, they're looting, whereby they're even finding the conflict between the Sudanese armed forces as well as the RSF. That's what we as South Africans are complaining about. Same way the Sudanese are complaining, they're suffering. We too as Black South Africans, we're also suffering.
We know
We're
that.
suffering.
The
Just like
Zimbabweans is suffering too,
all of
right?
us, we're
Yeah,
suffering.
y'all suffering. We over here. We're not as bad off, but we're in a serious pickle, bro.
Yes,
And this
you
is
see,
this is the part where black people all over the world is got the worst end of the stick.
yes.
I want to throw this out at you. This is two examples. One is example where Ethiopia created a bond to raise money to build that dam, and the people, the poor people of Ethiopia, was able to raise something like 100 and something million toward that dam. The dam was a billion or something, billion or two, I don't know. It was in the billions. Burkina Faso just raised 160 million US dollars
Yes.
from the diaspora.
Yes.
And so I'm bringing these examples up is because economically we can do some things if we put our few dollars together as a whole and start
Correct.
doing some things. So these are the
Correct.
solutions that we need to be looking at. And this whole thing of what you guys are dealing with the immigration, that's real. Who am I? I don't, because I mean, Ghana had a situation, Nigeria had a situation where they were
Yes.
sending folks
Yes.
back. So how can somebody blame you when the whole continent is dysfunctional, the region is dysfunctional, the country is dysfunctional? So
Yes.
we're all in this together, and that's
Yes.
why Malema and I'm using him because he's the
Yes. Yes.
better choice than Ramaphosa to me.
Okay, no, I hear you. In fact, let me tell you about when it comes to South Africans. You see, even with us as South Africans, when we come together, we try to establish a bank. The system is designed is designed in such a way that black people, they're not even allowed to own banks. Do you understand how racist this system is against black people? It doesn't want to allow black people to own banks, because if black people own banks, they'll own the entire economy, they'll own the entire land. That's how it's been designed. And we as South Africans, we're also pushing against that. Because, in fact, these guys, they're even putting a regulation that's very restringent, whereby it's all about the money. Because they know that black people, they don't have the money. That's how you kill black people from owning. For them to own banks, you have to actually put a regulation whereby they have to, even put X number of money. And a lot of South Africans don't have it, and that is the problem. But we aspire to what the likes of the guy in that general from Burkina Faso, who's his name?
Traore.
Yes, Traore. We aspire
Ibrahim.
Yes, Ibrahim Traore. Thank you very much. We aspire for those guys, the likes of Paul Kagame, the guys who take action. We aspire for those guys. But right now, we don't have them right now. So we as Africans, we are standing up together. We are actually saying that we want to own things into our own hands. In fact, Julius Malema, he was implicated into a bank that collapsed. That was called VBS Bank. It is a black bank, and mind you, it's a black bank that was formed during apartheid under a white system, where a white system allowed black people to own banks. The likes of Julius Malema during post-1994, they killed that bank. There is a report. There was an investigation that was done. His name is fingered there. His fingered there. His fingered there. It's a report coming from the South.
I have to say this though. Here's the thing I have to say: the media, the videos that we're seeing of South Africa, we must be mindful that the white media controls what we see. So the things that we see with people getting their ass whooped and getting killed and all these things may not be true, because who owns the media? Who owns the media in South Africa?
The Zionist. The
Thank you.
Zionist.
So that part of their thing is to do this is what they always do. So that's why if you say, I was talking to some South Africans in another social media, they was bringing this up, and it was like, oh yeah, that's true. We got to take that into consideration. Everything we see may not always be true. Everything that you hear about Malema, that's also another thing too. They're going to try to, if he's really going to be the person that could liberate y'all, they're going to try to do everything to malign him possible. So keep
Of
that in
course, it's
mind
gonna be a
too.
target. Yes,
Right.
yes,
Keep that in
yes.
mind
But the thing,
because
yes, but the things that we as Africans, we have to look on ourselves, because we cannot look for African solutions in the White House or in the European Union in Brussels. We have to look, and we have to look for solutions in ourselves. We have to look for solutions in us, because right now, like, African continent is being owned. We like a pie. This country is owned by this corporate. That country is owned by that corporate. Look what's happening in Congo right now, just like what's happening in Sudan. In Sudan, they're
right.
funding wars. In Congo, they're actually looting the cobalt.
Yeah.
All these companies, your Apple and
And guess
stuff.
what I just heard today in the
Yes,
Congo? That
yes.
they've been starting and stopping the building of the Inga Dam. This will be the most powerful dam in the world, and output. I think is going to be the largest output. It'll power up more than half of Africa, right? So
Yes.
the World Bank has pulled out of that. They tried to start again, and then they dropped out of it. And part of it is to do with the stability of the country that there's war. But guess what now? Because of AI and those data centers, they got the funding, they're ready to go. So what's going to happen is these white folks is going to come and build data centers all in the Congo, and they're going to help build that dam, and they're going to suck up all the power, and it's going to be nothing but a bunch of AI data centers all in the Congo, and some of the power will get out to the people, but they will own it. And this is what's happening. They're going to start. They've already started, on the project. They got the money for it. So here we go again with selling out the country.
Yeah, that is sad. That is very sad. That is very, very sad. That's why Congolese need to reject the building of data centers. They have to reject it, because we can see these guys, the agenda which they're trying to push. Even here in South Africa, we can see the agenda which they're trying to push everywhere. Like, we can see that's why the world right now is revolting. Like, the whole world right now is revolting. Terrible things are happening right now across the whole world. It doesn't matter whether you're in South Africa or in Europe. Terrible things are happening, but here in Africa, it's always about the colonization. It's all about the looting of the minerals. It's all about the enslaving of the people, keeping people unemployed, just like here in South Africa. Yeah, same thing in Congo, whereby if you look into the Eastern DRC, you find actually jets that are coming in and out. In a middle of somewhere, whereby they're taking minerals. Minerals are leaving Congo, but Congo is poor. But somewhere you've got the landing strip in the middle of nowhere, whereby even journalists, when they go there with cameras, they find Congolese police. They're saying that, no, don't take pictures, don't film him here. Why they don't want people to film there? It's because they're going to expose the looting of minerals. Those private jets that are coming in and out, that are stealing the minerals. Like, it's terrible what's happening to Africa. And now we are being left to fight one another. That's the thing. And South Africans.
Hey guys, let me read the super chat. JC Inc. Thank you for $1.09 holla. Right now, Black South Africans are chasing out other blacks.
That is false. You see, that is false. Again, it's a Zionist media pushing the very same thing. It's a Zionist media pushing the very same thing. South Africans right now, they're exposing what the Zionists, the globalists, they're doing, but they're trying to counter us with these issues. Hence, we're being made to look like bad people. In the beginning of this year, Black South Africans were accused of genocide, like we're killing white people. But let's look into a genocide.
Oh, right. Yeah, remember that?
Let's look at what's happening to Gaza. Like, if
showing
you talk about
videos of the Congo.
Yes, if you talk about genocide, let's talk about Gaza. It means South Africa should be right now. It should have been looking at Gaza right now, but there's no such thing that's happening. So Black South Africans were accused of genocide. Now we're being accused of xenophobia. Like you see.
Well, this is why we need our own media. You guys need your own media. We need our own media. Even some of the medias that I listen to, if they had more money, they could send people down there to really report on accuracy on what's really going on, because they're going to try to create a narrative that's going to disrupt and keep the black people in confusion and from organizing and doing anything progressive at all.
Yeah,
keep you in turmoil.
I agree with you. That's what's happening because Black South Africans, like they've been frustrated from since. Even when you look into South African public broadcaster, which is owned by the state, ACBC, which is South African Broadcasting Corporation, which is exactly the same like BBC. During apartheid, it used to battle the apartheid lies. Even right now, it's not even patriotic to us. Same way like those private-owned medias that are owned by Zionists, it's not even patriotic to us. That's why South Africans right now, like we've been fed lies all over again, and these lies they're also being fed to people from the outside. How we as South Africans we must be looked at. That's why right now we as South Africans, we are using social media to expose the lies. Same way we expose the lies of a so-called genocide that was pushed by Elon Musk. We're also using the very same social media to expose the lies of so-called xenophobia. There's no xenophobia that's happening in South Africa. There's no killing of people here in South Africa. There's no such thing. In fact, South Africa, when you look into the stats, yes, it's got high crime rate. It's got a high crime rate, and we know where there's poverty, there's gonna be a crime, and it's mostly South Africans who die. It's South Africans who die each and every day. It's South Africans who die, not actually people from outside. South Africans are the ones who are dying. When you look into those states, it's South Africans who are dying. Even when you look into the very same state, you don't find even white people being killed into white farmers being killed. It's black people are being killed, and it's black men and black young men. It's like a story of United States of the story of USA, where young black men are being killed there in the project. It's the very same thing here in South Africa. Yeah, a lot of young black South Africans are being killed. A lot of
so let me ask you this question, right?
Being incarcerated into prisons.
So if you got rid of all the migrants, the immigrants, let's say the black immigrants,
yes,
would that solve your problems of employment?
Yes, it's going to solve the problem of employment, but
really,
it's gonna wait. In fact, it's going to solve the issue of illegal immigration. We are not saying all,
but how does that impact the quality of life for South Africans that have what's the percentage of unemployment rate in South Africa?
The percentage of unemployed is 60%.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So are you saying that once you get all of the black immigrants out, that the 60% rate is going to go down?
Nope.
No. Let me say this to you. Yes, it's going to help partially, but it's going to help largely. When it comes to the issue of illegal immigration, we're not saying all the migrants. We're not saying all. We're saying undocumented. Those who are illegal, they must go. It will help there. But the ones who are legal, they must stay in South Africa. They must continue to enjoy staying here in South Africa. They must continue to work here in South Africa. Yeah. But the important thing here is that the government, it must stimulate the economy. It must stimulate the economy, because when you talk about stimulating of economy and investing into industries and bring back those factories, then that's where the unemployment is going to be reduced, poverty and inequality. Because what must happen here is that the economic policies that are developmental, not neoliberal, that are developmental, are the ones that must be implemented.
Well, Vincent, y'all got to get a control of the narrative, because the world is seeing that you guys are pariah. That's what you look like in the media. The media is showing you looking like the pariah.
Hey, that's what it is, man.
Hey, guys, let Babaliko speak.
That's what it is. Y'all South Africans are xenophobia, man. It's a fact. I don't keep Vincent talking all this garbage. Y'all xenophobia. Y'all xenophobia. This is not the first time we see this happen. Every year is the same thing with in South Africa. Y'all xenophobia, man. Julius Malema talk about it. Okay, y'all are xenophobia. Y'all be beating up other Africans, talking about illegal. What's illegal? The white man draw that line in Africa. Ain't no African is illegal in Africa. Okay, y'all have xenophobia. Y'all beat up people. Now y'all crying because the people y'all beat up, those Africans who comes there, open shops, sell goods, and all of that. Now y'all don't have a shop to open. But meanwhile, the white man running around South Africa with your gold, with your oil, with everything
South Africa have, but with your farm, even on the farms, okay, even have their own land, Arania. But y'all don't do nothing to them. But y'all run around talking about, hey, you're not xenophobia. You're xenophobia. South Africa is the biggest xenophobia people that have in South Africa. When the Patriotic Alliance, the party. Hey, yes, I've been to Cape Town. I've been to South Africa. I've been down around Durban, Johannesburg. I've been there. What you telling me? What you talking about? Listen. Patriotic Alliance, Garen Payton, even him changing his tongue now. When he used to be running around talking about Ablahande, like a damn fool, like a damn big fool. Now he's in the cabinet of the ANC, which have done nothing to help the South Africans. The ANC, y'all vote for ANC every election, they win. And they have done nothing for the people. The people still live in squalor. They still live in squalor. The whites live in nice big neighborhoods, big houses, and y'all live over there in those galvanized houses. You can't tell me. I've been there. You guys are xenophobia. You guys fight other Africa about undocumented. Undocumented what? These people, hold on. What? How much jobs? According to Julius Malema, he's the only one I respect in South Africa. How much jobs have you guys created where you run these guys out? How much jobs? None.
My brother, it's your own opinion, not a fact.
No, I ain't coming here to Vincent to tell lies here, man. It's been going on over and over and over with these South Africans. That's why when Jacob Zuma run and make his own MK party, a lot of the Zulus vote for him. You know why? Because it's xenophobia. Is everybody want to stick with it? Who's Zulu? Who is hot? Who's this? Meanwhile, meanwhile the white man is running around South Africa with everything. He's creeping up everything. Okay, so this is the problem. No, it got paid actors. It got paid actors behind all of this in South Africa. They're being paid. Okay,
Vincent,
I'm from the islands, man. Y'all the xenophobia, man. Y'all xenophobia. It's a fact.
It's that all over the continent, man. Everywhere we are.
Vincent, I got a question for you, right? To be fair with Babaliko, what he's saying, right? I did see some videos which, even if they're legal, they're saying that we don't want you here. But when it's Pakistanis, when it's Indians, they'll go and say, "Hey, listen, instead of you hiring foreigners, can you give us?"
But
the
that's
job?
a video. Is that video propaganda though?
No, that's not propaganda. The Indians and them living.
We can make a lot of shit.
Let me tell you, man. I've been the Indians there. They live very well down in Durban. A lot of them live there, right?
Yeah, we know that.
They live very well there.
No, you're lying. No, my brother.
Listen, man. They don't do nothing to them.
It's like the Chinese in Jamaica or the whatever, somewhere.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Black people, that there's somebody living better than us wherever we are.
But it's not the same. Ramaphosa and them are sold out South Africa, man. The people who they're really supposed to vote for, they don't vote for. You know why? Somebody who's fighting tooth and nails for these people, they don't vote for them. People like Julius, they don't vote for people who want to take back the mines and the gold. Julius Malema been calling to take back the mines. And look how that is working.
After 2012, when he came back from London, he's a sellout now.
Look how that is working for the AES, taking back the mines and the gold. Julius Malema been calling to do that for years. They haven't done that.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Which country are you from?
Okay, I'm from the islands. I'm from the islands, the Caribbean.
My brother, let me educate you now. Because since you're from the island, let me educate you. You see, what you're saying right now, you're peddling lies. Like, you're really peddling lies.
Wait.
Let me tell you.
Y'all not xenophobia. There's no xenophobia going on in there, in South Africa. Come on, man. That's not lies. That's a fact. That's a fact.
There's no xenophobia.
There's no xenophobia. There's no xenophobia. Hold on. When did the Patriotic Alliance, hold on, an action essay, right? The Patriotic Alliance, an action essay. How did they win? How did they win and get seats in the parliament? I want to see if you're going to tell the truth now. The Patriotic Alliance, how did they win seats in the parliament of South Africa and an action essay? How did they win?
Wait.
No, with Tantalux, with the Tantalux. I know a lot about South Africa. With all of them been running around there. How did they win? How did Patriotic Alliance win? With what type of votes?
Let me answer you. Let me answer.
Oh my God!
They won.
How did the Patriotic Alliance win? Are you going to answer the question?
I'm answering you.
Okay, okay, go ahead. Tell me.
They won at the backdrop of actually dealing with the issue of immigration. That's how they got into power. That's how they were voted into. But because the guy who's leading the party, he's a politician, he's conniving. You know, he's actually supporting the Zionists.
Yeah, Gary Payton.
By Israel.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Open. In fact, wait. In fact, he's open about his support for Israel. He's even waving the Israeli flag. So
yeah, that's true.
Conniving his politician. But let me tell you something. The guy is not going to last.
But you're right. But he did get the xenophobia votes. He did get the xenophobia votes, though. You're not telling the whole truth. You're not telling the whole truth.
No, he's a stupid politician.
He is a stupid politician, but he was the one who running by the Zimbabwe border, talking about Abahande and saying all foreigners must go. I remember. And this wasn't this year. This was a couple years ago. And it's been going on for years. It's been going on for years. It's not this. This is not the first time this thing we're seeing all this thing on social media. The media can't be lying all the time. Come on, man. The media can't be lying all the time. It have some truth. Say it.
We've got the problem of illegal immigration. Please don't mind us that out. We've got the problem of illegal immigration. So what must we do? But must we really stay with illegal immigrants? Do you know that there are guys?
Yes, because what jobs are they taking? They're not really taking any jobs from South Africa.
Guys, we got to close out. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family.
That is what should do with AK-47s. Well, guys, what?